40 records being played on every radio station in the United States is a communication to the children to take a trip, to cop out, to groove. The psychedelic jackets on the record albums have their own.
This is a special question. We don't want you to smoke genetically modified ganja. We want you to smoke the real thing.
Me?
We want you to smoke the natural herb.
Sweet.
Some call it marijuana.
Sweet.
Some call it sensimilla.
Sweet.
Some call it lamb's bread.
The tea.
And some people call it
Welcome to another edition of the Adam Dunn Show. I'm your host, Adam Dunn.
I'm Dave Charnick.
We're live in the studio. We got Mr. Travis Tyler Fluck.
Do we have to use the three? Do you like the Tyler?
I like the Fluck.
It's not just for assassins.
No?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's necessary. There actually is another Travis Fluck that lives in Oregon.
What? There cannot be.
There is.
Fucker.
I think you could, but you
Flucker.
could do fun with it. You could do like,
Flucker.
your name is T. Travis Fluck, or something like that.
I could.
Or T. Triler.
Or T. Ravis.
Tyler.
Or T. Ravis.
So
Yeah.
How about T. Ravis?
it's been done.
T. Ravis? I like that.
yeah.
Shut up, Dave and Adam.
You're covering it all. You're covering all bases. Anyway, we have the man himself. He's back. The mushroom man is back. Look at this. He's got a beautiful. We all got our balls out on the table, man. We just slapped our balls.
Glad how I was all set up when you just start.
Oh
Should
yeah,
we-
well
should
we
we-
already started late, dude. We were like, I got here late, and everybody then decided to leave the studio at that latest moment.
No, I was here. I just walked around
Yeah,
inside.
wandering aimlessly, looking for rolling papers.
Yeah,
trays,
important, very important.
Yeah,
Well, look, we got a tray. This is a piece of paper that says, there is so mushroom for all of us.
so mushroom.
So mushroom for all of us. Upon the winter solstice,
What's
December
going on here?
21st.
Jazzing out? Are you jazzing?
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Mark.
Mark.
Damn.
Made an appearance.
Did he just throw those rolling papers and strike me in the face? HR,
Kind of.
Whatever.
I might need an eye.
I'm feeling fucking zooted.
So this is the Gather, Offer, Connect, a gifting portal into the mycelial web. Must RSVP to attend, no entrance fee. And there's a lot of small text for youngins around the side here for people who
with-
don't need glasses.
Who don't hold it out like this and go.
And
It's not fine print. It's just reiteration.
oh, it's come on, look at that.
No, I'm just saying it's not like fine. We're not pulling one over you on you.
Okay.
Oh
We're
yeah,
just
we own your
reiterating
soul. We
what
own
you
your
see in big print.
By showing up here, you agree to give your
Yeah,
firstborn
yeah,
to
no.
Travis
Born
Tyler
child,
Fluck.
own your soul, and yeah, exactly. You're gonna pay all our taxes.
No, it's like an incantation. Here, let me
Got
see
it. Oh, I read it incorrectly.
Yeah, it says there's so mushroom for all of us,
I like that.
over and over and over again.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark
yeah,
likes
Dave, come on. Don't
I was going to use it as a rolling tray. That's the ultimate honor.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't. Do psychedelics and puns just like are they bedfellows? Is that like a thing?
So we have a.
I wasn't going to.
Before we jump into it with
Not gonna touch that one.
Travis, let's do our full listings because we got a
Oh, damn.
as always ram a jam a back show.
Thank you, ma'am.
No, not just ram a jam a show.
Yeah, we have Jeff Gard coming on at 5.
So if you have 5ish, okay, perfect.
Yep.
So if we have any,
Well, I guess it was going to be 5-ish, but
that's perfect. No,
we started late, so we might have to go a little late.
He's always on. This guy's like, he'll be Irish. He'll be Irish. Goodbye in a second. We'll be like, where'd he
No,
go?
he could stay. I mean,
I think he's busy.
Jeff was telling me,
My
I was.
dog's dying. I gotta get to her.
See, I knew it.
I'm not busy. I'm just
Well, that sucks.
preoccupied.
That always
Yeah.
I'm
sucks.
sorry.
We have Jeff Gard, the guard dog. Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that sample? It's so perfect.
No.
You didn't hear it on the show. Did you hear the sample I found? Come on our
On what show?
card on the card. Did you hear the sample?
Oh yeah. That's good. Perfect.
It combined
it.
two. I was looking for dog sounds for the guard dog. Like, yeah, maybe.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I was like, well, let me look up Dweebs, and then I found Dweebs and dog sounds, and we just happen to have our other guest, which is Red Farmer, coming in later in the show because we're gonna finish the show off with him, and also maybe possibly Ricky from Ricky's Originals, California Originals, and Ricky's Brothers Kush, of course. But Red Farmer was a grower out in Cali that we met last year. Met him online, but he was definitely growing. He was growing RBK for Rick and putting out some fire. But he moved to Utah and wrote a book.
Oh,
and I was like,
gosh.
well, you definitely
Oh.
can't really indulge in the growing too much in Utah. It's not great a state for that, is it? Nah.
No.
So,
Good for being a
but
Mormon.
he did. But he's
bad
great for
everything
writing
else.
books. Great for writing books. So he wrote growing weed for Dweebs, which I thought was a
That was
pretty
great.
great title. And I think a great gift because it's kind of a double edge. You got that like, here you go. You always wanted me to get you a grow book, and here you go. But very
Well, speaking of gifts, we got to push
Uh-oh.
the judge's water.
oh,
So if you are a drinker, we're not, but if you happen to be a drinker,
or you have a friend who's a
and-
drinker.
yeah, and you want to give them a nice gift, you can go to cheechandchong.com. You can click on the judge's water link. Takes you to a real alcohol site that ships alcohol to people. You just have to click a bunch of buttons. But when you're done with the vodka, it turns into a bong. You have a whole conversion kit for how you can turn it into a bong. I believe it's either $300 and limited to 300, or there's 300 and I'm pretty sure that's right, but I'm sure Mark will put it up. But they sign the little booklet in there. Listen, if booze is your thing, and
It's a cool thing to have. But
Well, so I ran a head shop for 2 years, and we didn't have to, but we flew signs that said for tobacco use only. So how does that fly? Are there states that they can't ship to?
yes, Pennsylvania,
Wow.
Pennsylvania for sure.
yeah, no.
That's the whole reason
Pennsylvania.
why Chong got arrested was that he got one guy.
No, I know. Operation Pipe Dreams.
And it was just one. It was them sending him this thing like, "Come on, man, you can send it to us." And once they sent it to Pennsylvania, that was it. They had
So
an
it was
opening.
a cardinal in Pittsburgh that started that whole shebang.
Lovely.
Well,
I
I
had a
don't-
head shop in Pennsylvania.
Really
Interesting.
at that time.
Yeah, but I got
Wow.
busted on something completely different, but it was in proximity of that.
And so go ahead and give him well, listen, it isn't for us to
Sorry, that smells-
question.
It smells very Christmas tree-like right now.
What do you need there, Tops? Wow, you only saw the back of Tops right there.
That was
Yeah.
that was a rare sighting.
Top sighting.
What do you mean? He was on Duncan Dabbers earlier,
Oh.
giving away rigs.
That's true. I'm just saying on our show,
Oh.
he'll just sit over
Yeah.
there and just
And he's not wearing
Cajole.
dark sunglasses right now. That's normally his thing. Yeah. Terp wipes, that's the advertisement,
That's
4
it.
times the size. Yeah, so go to cheechandchong.com, buy a Judge's Water. And I think you have to check it out, but I think if you enter Done Deal, you get like 10% off. Possibly. But we're not supposed to advertise it. We're just supposed to tell you. How's that sound?
well, there you go.
Travis is going to take up drinking again just for this.
No, well, I was laughing at the advertising versus telling because the Natural Medicine Health Act says that we can't advertise that we're doing harm reduction.
Oh, goodness.
But the simplest definition of advertising is telling somebody, which is a
Well, then
First
don't
Amendment.
tell, just
Right,
explain.
yeah. Right.
Just explain. Use different words. Get your thesaurus out.
Oh, we're working on it. We have to rename integration
You have to
because
rename.
they're about to define it, and only a licensed person can do integration. So I can't talk to you about my psychedelic experiences anymore unless there's a license between the two of us.
Wow. This is great. This is sounding more and more like that meme of the guy. Like, why should I come to you? Because I just tripped a lot, man. Because he went
Too
and
bad,
paid his.
too bad Vinny wasn't here to actually make the sound proper.
He's doing something very important. He's probably making barbecue
More important than the show?
on a Friday. He's
I
got to
don't
sell
know.
the
I'm not-
barbecue.
I don't know about that.
I mean, I'm right here.
Yeah,
I-
exactly.
I'm just kidding. I'm messing with you. I'm just
Oh.
kidding.
Damn,
kidding.
Not saying
damn,
you're
damn.
doing anything, but you're
yeah.
over there.
I'm over
So,
here.
what's it like
Not doing
having to
anything.
navigate a law that is enacted in sort of flux that can change at any time, and that really doesn't have a proper framework to plan a future right now? It just seems like it's kind of changes. So how do you work with something like that?
You kind of imagine the world that you want to see and just start acting like that's the case. And
So
then,
ask forgiveness, not permission.
well, right now everything's
Kind of a
undefined.
classic, kind of a
Everything's vague, and that's dangerous. So there's actually a mushroom dispensary in Denver now that's operating in that gray zone.
I know that guy
and you're
Do you really?
Of course you do, Mark.
from back in the day. He was just through music.
Well, that guy's one of the reasons I'm about to give away mushrooms.
Right. No. Perfect. I
'Cause-
don't support anything he does. I just know him from the music scene.
Yeah,
Was he a bad musician too? A hack?
I
Was he a
just don't
hack?
remember.
Was he a hack?
I
Come
can't
on.
remember,
You can say,
honestly.
Just say he was a hack.
Yeah.
He was a fucking
This-
hack.
No, Mark. Well, he doesn't want. DJs have this thing, man. They don't want.
Or he was the only guy that made money. Probably. He was like, oh man, that guy actually killed it.
Yeah, I don't know. I was in a metal band. I don't think he was in a metal band. I think he was just in the music scene.
Oh, okay.
Anyways.
Promoter. Sounds like a
Yeah,
promoter.
I think-
sounds like a
yeah,
promoter
sounds
type.
about
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, if he's moving on mushrooms now, he's a promoter for sure.
Well, I can tell you this: if you're talking about just making money on a weekend, we're in the wrong business.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We have been for a long time.
Yeah, we're in the wrong business.
We have.
So, I want you to finish your thought on.
Well,
Yes,
let's talk about how this came into my awareness.
Yeah.
So I was doing an art project at the house, and somebody that was doing the art project with me had got a bunch of Westwords just to like lay out so we could make a big mess. And I saw this ad for mushrooms for sale, and you're not supposed to advertise and you're not supposed to sell them. So I just went
Was it
into
just
like a little.
Was it just like text or was it actually an ad?
No, it's an ad. I could, if you give me a moment.
I
I'll
saw
look
one,
it
but
up.
I thought
Mark, let Mark find it
I
this
thought
way.
I saw one before that was like just text, and it was kind of like just trying to hope people didn't see it and see it at the same time. You know?
No, so this person advertised that you could get specific amounts for specific prices, and he had his name and the address and the number in the listing. Like he just was.
So he just wants
out.
to get arrested to challenge the law. I'm hoping.
Well,
Maybe he's a freedom fighter.
He believes that he's well within the gray area of the law, and he's okay.
He's got eighth at how much now?
For yeah.
And he's giving it
$30
hold
an
on.
eighth, $30 an eighth, 100 for a half, and $1.60
Yeah.
for an ounce.
So
Just like that in big text.
I just kept, looking at the Westward every week, and they kept running the same ad. And then there's some other people that kind of joined in. There's actually like a wholesale psychedelic mushroom like ad in there too. And so I reached out to him. I shot him a text. I was like, this is a pretty bad look for all the work that I did. Like, what the fuck? He never responded to me. But that day that I saw the ad, I made a social media post, and two of my friends went and saw him that day and got mushrooms. And one of them was a reporter and interviewed the guy, and he really thought that he was okay because regulation hadn't been defined yet, so he was in a gray area. And he was telling people that he was operating in a co-op model, but I've put the time in to actually lift a co-op off the ground, and there's governance and asset management and all these things that come with a real co-op. You can't just say something's a co-op and not be structured like one. And then a friend of mine really wanted to go check it out, so I went with her, and when we got there was a line out the door, and one of the people in line lived in Georgia, and he was just passing through Denver and found out about it through a Westward article that talked about this.
Great.
And we didn't have time to stay and hang out, but I guess the ruse is that you go in, you sit down, you tell him what ails you, and he says, "Oh yeah, mushrooms would be great for that," and then sells you or gives you the mushrooms for free. You pay him for the time. So he's basically dispensing medical advice without a license.
Yeah.
Right? This is bad juju. And then using a gimmick, it's not a free mushroom, to kind of get over. Just like
Yeah, it's a classic. Buy a T-shirt and get. I'll give
that's
you
how they
this
do it in
bag of
Washington,
weed,
D.C. You buy a sticker for $50 and you get the mushrooms for free.
Yep.
I have the most extensive sticker collection from Washington.
Yeah,
I got to show you one of these days.
It's wonderful. Yeah, so that just put a thorn in my side because I really felt like that would.
Yeah, you can pull that up. There's I took a screenshot of that.
Yeah,
one,
it would just lead to more regulation.
Well, maybe I don't even
And-
want to show it. Why? Because somebody's going to go to him.
Oh yeah, they're running to
Yeah.
him right now.
Fuck him. We do. You know
Oh,
what?
no,
If-
I mean,
he's
it's
gotta be
novel.
He's
It's
gotta be
novel, and the district attorney. This has now caught the attention of the district
I was
attorney.
gonna say he must have caught his attention by now.
Well, they talked about it at the review panel, and they asked two of the lawyers that wrote 122 if that was in the spirit of the measure, and they said no. So they are calling upon the legislators to make more laws to
Here comes the knee jerk.
define whether that's okay or not.
Yeah. Fuck it. That's just the fuck that I would. Part of me wants to go speak to this guy and find he's a fucking plant. It sounds like he's part of the problem. Like they just said, go ahead and do this so that we can overregulate it, and then in 2 years when we have our mushroom clinic, $5,000 a session, then we'll really reward you.
Yeah, I mean we don't know how it's going to play out, but it definitely instigates a response, you know, and then I kind of am countering with opening up a space where we truly give them away. Like, how are you going to make money on something that we give away for free is really where I'm coming from.
Well, that is the corollary argument, right? I mean, that's the only way to counter. You bottom them.
Well, you know,
that didn't sound right.
Well, I have made more and more of a carve out for myself that I'm less and less want to be associated with the psychedelic space, because in that space are all the capitalists and a lot of the tourists that don't always make commitment to the work. So I've been kind of stepping out and into the mutual aid space, which essentially defines itself as a group of people getting together to meet each other's needs with the shared understanding that the systems that we live in are not meeting our needs. And we work with the mushrooms. And it's a space I feel more identity to. But
is there a way to get creative, Travis, and do something to the effect of where you continue to give mushrooms away all the time, but existing somewhere is just a blind GoFundMe for you?
So
that you never have any idea.
So
what does
the black box look like? I don't know. But what I do know is that I was at a mycology meetup a few weeks ago, and everybody that's been growing is like, oh my God, we have all these mushrooms. And we want to grow more. So I was like, well, why don't we just give them away? And that's where this idea came up, to just host a space where we tell people, like it's a visible thing, where we give them away, and at the same time educate them, give them resources. I'm going to have a neurologist on site, a functional medicine person, an internal medicine person, a nutritionist, a doctor of psychology, a doctor of somatics, all kinds of professionals and spiritual leaders that are going to be there so that if people have questions, they can be resourced.
That's great.
And I just, you know, I feel that when you give somebody something as profound as mushrooms, that there's a responsibility there to follow up with. And I've been teaching these microdosing classes since April, and I've now taught 355 people since April about microdosing, and then been giving them the mushrooms.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, here he comes. Look at
that.
That
throw
work.
it.
He's going to throw it at you.
Thanks, buddy.
Ciao.
Are the Nuggets playing tonight? No.
So
there's such pain in his voice.
You guys don't get to see the chat anymore?
We haven't watched that.
He gets
in
triggered.
years.
He gets triggered too quickly. And he starts getting all goofy and laughing at the wrong moments.
Yeah, you're telling us
you're
about
telling
a sad
something serious,
story.
and then you're telling about your dog, and he's laughing.
I gotcha.
What's going on over here?
gotcha.
I'm reading the chat.
I have trouble not being influenced by all the
No worries.
stimuli.
No worries. I've
Hey!
jumped on several times, and months ago you say, "Oh, hey, Travis," and now it's crickets.
Oh, I know.
And I'm just
Sometimes I have it here, so I can kind of keep
Okay.
an eye on what's going on. But
Usually I'll log on to the chat when I see Mark has that fucking shit-eating Cheshire cat grin on his face, laughing his ass off at something we're not talking about, and then I realize, oh, it's either the Nuggets or somebody just said something goofy in the chat. And,
sitting down, we have
Oh.
co-host.
Co-host.
let's bring Kyle in
Guest
on this
co-host.
black box we were
Totally.
just talking about.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Kyle Allon from Exotix here, celebrating our 2-year anniversary.
Oh,
so it's
shit.
Allon, not Allon?
Allon, yeah.
Oh, man.
You can say it
You can
Allon
say
if you
whatever.
want to, because my Instagram used to be Allon Kush. So,
Yeah, that's why you fucked me up that way. That's all right. That's no fair.
but yeah.
Ask the question again about the GoFundMe. Now that Kyle's
Ken,
here.
is there a possibility of setting up some general blind fund where you never see who contributes or what they contribute? You just see a total, and so you never have any idea, something just to keep your lights on. They're incent, just like you use your knowledge to educate people on mushrooms. They're using their money to just put it into a general fund so that you don't wind up poor.
Great question, Dave. And I plan on doing this event again in late February to coincide with the Ethereum Denver conference that's coming into town.
Yes.
Are you paying attention?
Sorry, I was making a
East
joke that
Denver,
only
Dave.
Alan.
Yeah, so I'm
Alan
gonna
got.
do this event in 2 months
Wasn't very funny.
when the Ethereum
Now we know
conference is
later.
in town.
See, this is how
Okay,
I am with the
y'all need
chat.
to let him-
You're telling something important,
He's
and I'm
telling
laughing.
something important.
I can pick up Travis if you want. So
Well, let
East-
me just bring Dave into our conversation.
Yes.
So I am posing this question: is what is the confluence of mushrooms, mutual aid, and blockchain? Because I know that there's a lot of people in that community that want to help dismantle these systems and really decentralize things. And mushrooms, that's like what they do.
Yeah.
So Kyle and I were having the preamble of this conversation that we're about to have, but we pinched it short so that we could have it.
live on air.
live
You know
on
how
air.
it
You're
is.
like, I know. You're like, wait, save it for the show. man."
Yeah, we're getting too deep right now.
For 3 years, that's how we
We never talk.
Totally.
Save it for the show, Dave.
Yeah, so I think it'd be really cool to get our model, what we're doing, on the blockchain, and then to also create an access point in Denver for anybody in the world that wants to come here and get access.
Oh, wow.
And I think that there's a lot of people that would support that, and I think that we can do that through this confluential area.
And we're going to do it, I think, is where we ended up is blockchain is perfect for this kind of thing, especially since you're dealing with something that is not really approved by any financial institution and is not really approved by many governments here in the United States. So with that said, blockchain is great because everything is verifiable, but everything is also anonymous if you know what you're doing. So it brings up the point of how do you put money into something without people knowing who you are. You can't really do that. I guess in traditional finance right now, you go to GoFundMe and Tracy M or whoever just donated however much money to your GoFundMe. So anyway, there's a lot of different nuances with traditional finance and being able to accept money for things that the government doesn't approve of. So blockchain's perfect for that.
Get it.
Hell yeah.
Get it. So this was something I wanted to bring up with you when you were here, and a little bit off topic, on topic. That article that went around about the kid in Massachusetts who
Fucking tragedy.
was busted with,
Oh, yeah.
they said $8.5 million.
What they meant to say was 30,000.
Wasn't that
Yeah,
Connecticut?
that's
That
what
was
I wanted
Connecticut.
to.
That's
Oh,
where
yeah.
I'm from.
Yeah, I know.
So that was
Yeah.
my question, because when we were younger, we would read stories all the time about a man busted with a pound of cannabis with an estimated street value of $15,000. And you're like, well, wait, who pays 15 grand? I want to meet that guy.
Right. We
You know,
we've
I
talked
mean-
about my arrest story, right?
Yeah,
At this
yeah,
point,
yeah,
so that
yeah.
happened to me.
Yeah. So what do you think it was? I mean, was there any? I read it. I didn't see any. They give a value. They didn't give a weight. Did you see it anywhere in the story?
I saw pictures of everything I saw pictures of things that were on a shelf. I saw things all spread out, and because I know how many mushrooms you would need to make $8 million,
Wasn't there.
No.
it's not.
No.
Well, let's put it into perspective then. So let's say a pound of
Well,
mushrooms.
right now, or like before we decriminalized.
Let's say, well, let's use $1,000 a pound, because that was the general, the High Times mushroom thing, whatever. $1,000 a pound.
Okay.
Okay, reasonable. Yes. Could it be $100 a pound if you were buying 50,000 pounds, whatever?
Right.
You
Well,
know,
that- I mean,
like
that's easy
Walmart
math.
quantities?
Okay.
Right.
So what's 8 million divided by 1,000?
there you go. So that's 80,000 pounds, right?
Right. And to produce 80,000 pounds, you need, oh man, 32,000 pounds of biomass. I feel like we're missing a zero. I feel like it's
Yeah.
320,000.
Where did he get his substrate?
Well,
where
that's
did
what I'm
all
saying.
that? Yeah.
So we'll say 320,000 pounds of substrate.
goodness,
That's a
great!
lot.
Come
That's-
on.
yeah.
That's insane.
Where did it come from? Where's the shipping manifest? You know, I mean, come give me a break.
No, but this is like, there's these black swan events, you know, that they're trying to like chip away at whatever progress we're making, but like people know that mushrooms are not the devil. They know this. And these sensationalized stories, they just like, these people become sacrificial lambs, and this kid's life is probably ruined.
The moment I see that
You know,
story,
like-
I agree with you 100%. I think to myself, was there an independent person there, that somebody that we trust? You sure they weren't just porcini mushrooms? You know, I mean, what? When I saw that number, $8.5 million, I didn't want to believe anything else in that story because it's just so fictitious.
Well, we've seen it over and over again in cannabis too, where they do busts and they're like $10 million worth of cannabis seized, and it's like 150 pounds, and you're like, no, how did they get there with?
They grammed it out at $100
exactly,
a gram.
Yeah.
I have the article right here, and they don't have any. It just says 8.5 million.
I couldn't find
so
it.
check this out. They tried to get in the house and he wouldn't let them in, and then they went in anyway. So in the case of cannabis, you can have a dog. You can have a dog signal to get in. There's no way that they saw a crime being committed. They can't assess from a visual way that these weren't.
He needs his day in court. I mean, the story needs to come out. We just can't go. Obviously, this article is bullshit. It is so biased on the side of law enforcement right now to prove a point where isn't it kind of usually in these situations where they know they're never going to convict the guy, so they might as well get as much sensationalism
I don't know.
You know, that they can?
I don't know. My situation, it was right before a DA re-election, and there was no other bigger case.
Oh, gosh.
No.
Yeah,
Well, that just
and I
happened here.
And I had 12 little pint jars that they said were producing $10,000 a month.
What?
But the headlines on all the newspapers said Magic Mushroom Factory found in New Hope. You could probably Google my name and find it.
The full three names, or
just the first and the second one?
Got it.
But until my activism, like it was like when you Googled me, that's what came up. And now I think it's pushed down to like the back of page 2. But
no.
Yeah,
fucking ridiculous.
They held a press conference with all this stuff that they had taken out of my house, and I had a head shop at the time, so they had all this crazy glass, and it was a pretty big to do. And that's when I like go back home, like that's my identity. Like,
For sure.
That sucks. That sucks.
Well,
sucks
I
more
think
for my
maybe we should
parents.
bring this down a little further and have Jeff Gard come on and tell us all the mistakes we're making in life.
Oh yeah, great. I know exactly. That's why I was like, oh yeah, it's great when he comes on the show.
Oh,
Actually, it's
so
not. It's like he's
just
all bummed
to
out.
refresh my case. So they took these pint jars they're just mycelium, and they gave them to an FBI lab person that 3 weeks later produced the mushrooms that I was attempting to grow, and then they charged me.
Oh, what?
Wow.
So I didn't have mushrooms, I had mycelium.
Yay.
That's lame.
Oh, it's
It's
like if you have a
only
bunch of soil
oh,
around,
the plot
you get busted
thickens.
for weed.
So I go to my preliminary hearing, and my lawyer makes the case that they didn't actually use anything they took out of my house to continue the growing process, so they couldn't prove intent. And the judge threw the charge out at my preliminary hearing, but then the district attorney said that he made an error in law and then reinstated the charges against me, and they had to have another preliminary hearing.
Wow.
So it's really easy for them when they can rewrite the rules mid-game.
Oh,
yeah.
totally. Yeah. Well, that's their game at that point, right?
Mike Denver says, "What's up, Travis?" And he was wondering if there's any organization efforts coming up for the upcoming legislative cycle.
Not yet, because we don't know what they're going to do. But
Right.
I will say that with this gifting space I'm going to open up, I'm going to encourage people that if they've been positively affected by something like this, to consider showing up. You know, if by the second there's a quick session this time, so they have to have everything introduced and voted on by April because it's an election year. But by then we should have had 2 more of these events, and I'm hoping to attract 1,000 people to the second one. So if we had half of that, if we had 500 of those people that thought this was amazing and could like show up to the Capitol, like we would have 5 days of testimony. They wouldn't know what to do with us.
Yeah.
We had 120 people, and that was like enough for them to.
That's a lot.
It was, And it was the same message over and over and over again, like, don't fuck with personal use.
For sure.
Right.
Totally.
Well, I mean, I guess we're still waiting on that, right? There's no movement either way in correcting the vague language of the cultivation, home cultivation of the natural medicine health lab.
No, but there is a motivation on the regulators' part to get people to be licensed. So we just don't know how that manifests in the way they lobby for these things.
I was almost about to say out loud, well, here's a logical thing that the government can do, and then I caught myself because they won't do that. It doesn't work out that way because, the same way like a president or a governor can pardon someone, they should have the exact same power to go, no one in Colorado knows more about mushrooms and psilocybin and how it affects the mind and the human body than Travis Tyler Fluck, and we should create it whatever standards we want, give them the badge, the accreditation.
Well, I actually think that we should just create our own advisory board.
That's a good idea.
How do we do that?
We just get a bunch of people together that know exactly what the fuck they're talking about and that have used these substances, some people for generations, and then just like come up with our own way that we would assess the situation, how we would regulate personal use, and regulate not in a create laws around it, but regulate.
Oh, you said laws? Like, did you just say laws?
Oh, well, look who is here. And
look what happened. Oh.
He is so fucking dapper. Look how good looking he is. I want somebody who looks like that representing me if I ever have to stand before a judge.
Oh,
or
he's
a
like,
jury.
fuck the sideways.
Fuck the sideways. Look at, he is dapper.
You look slimmer anyway that way. It's good.
Yeah.
Perfect. Slim it up.
Slimming.
To that point, Travis.
He can't hear us yet, can he?
I don't know. Adam, did you see the bus at the inside of the Cowboy Cup that had the Cannabis Union?
Perfect, Jeff.
It was like a big Cannabis Union trailer or Cannabis Union bus on the inside, like kind of by Yo-Tips, but on the other side.
You were inside the whole time. You didn't see it.
Anyway, I just thought that was. I'll try to find it for you, but maybe you think about doing something like that.
Oh, he's looking at his. He's looking at his.
Not maybe a union, but
welcome to the show, Jeff. Can you hear us?
Like that.
Now he hears us, right?
I can hear you just fine. Yes.
So we are doing our own little Cannabis Cup, and you are the best dressed attorney we've ever had on the show before. Better than those.
Well,
Pot
hopefully
guys.
you don't have too many other attorneys on the show, but I certainly am always going to be the best dressed one. That's for sure.
No, we had the Pot Brothers guys because they were.
That's your
right.
Stiff competition right
Brothers.
there. You got stiff.
Well, come on,
they go out of their way to not dress up so that they can show how down they are with the movement and whatnot.
Oh, you didn't see them at the event we were at.
They were a little bit froofed up out there.
Oh yeah,
they were.
He had on. Oh, he had a collared shirt, tie.
Yeah, he froofed. He was hella froofed at that point.
He had a vest on, showing off his guns.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Oh yeah.
Wow, guns.
For sure. You know the.
Nice.
The guns.
Oh yeah, that kind of guy.
Oh yeah,
I like it.
So how you been? We haven't seen you in forever. Thank you for taking time out and not billing us.
It has been a little bit of time. It's been a busy fall. Crime is up.
I was going to say it's not a great thing to hear from.
Yeah, when you said busy, all I want to say is fuck.
No, don't say busy. You should be like, I haven't done anything for months.
I've just been relaxing, hoping the phone will ring because all the prosecutors have dismissed all the cases. And,
thinking of getting into real estate law. No more. There's nothing else.
Nothing here. Nothing happening.
Yeah. Just do real estate now. Forget about that cannabis stuff.
So I guess the picture is bleak. Then you're saying that there are more cannabis interventions than in the past.
I wouldn't say that there are more. I'm saying that because people are so relaxed about it and have this perception that they can sort of do whatever they want, it makes it much easier for law enforcement to find them out and for the prosecutors to prosecute them, because again, when we were coming up, you would never do anything on the phone, you would never have any record, nobody, you deal with a couple of guys and then they would deal with a couple of guys. Now you can go buy 15 pounds from a guy you never met before, that it's just that kind of it just makes it a lot easier. So I've got a case now where a guy's just growing in a warehouse next to another guy, and all this stuff's going down, and he didn't get the memo not to keep a gun in the grow, and so we're talking about a relatively small grow, but with all the special offender stuff, because he of course didn't throw away any of the weed trash. He was making his own little hash oil in there. When you add it all up and then you throw an AR-15 in there,
Oh gosh.
this guy's looking at 8 years mandatory for a very relatively small grow. I mean, I don't think this guy could have produced 50 pounds in a year if he wanted to.
So what would have been, you say he's facing 8 years mandatory. If the firearm is not in the grow, what's the charge then, or is it even a charge?
Firearm, what we're talking about here is what they call special offender. This is a person who it was designed for really cocaine traffickers. So being within 1,000 feet of an elementary or any kind of a school, right? So drug dealing around schools is a special offender charge. If you, and he wasn't, and the other one is certain amount of weight will get you into special offender if you have it on hand. And then finally, there's another one, which is basically substantial source of income, which is all you do is grow and sell weed. You don't have any other job. So when a guy gets popped, one of the things that they do is they check the state records for whether you're receiving a W-2 or whether you file taxes or whatever. And like I've told you guys on the show many times, this is where the local government and the federal government combine, because then the federal government comes in, takes any money that they have, anything of value. If they own their own property, they'll try to take that. So I'm fighting this case on the federal level for civil forfeiture of everything. And at the state level, I'm dealing with that. And then, of course, because my guy had more money and was making more money than he was representing in his taxes, they're referring that over to the IRS for tax fraud. So it's a bad juju to do that. So.
Jeff, thank you for your last visit ever on the show.
Coming over here,
we're never having you back on again.
Dragging us down like this.
Okay, let's give some safety tips here. Here's some pro tips.
Yeah.
Never have a gun in the grow.
No, that's pretty obvious.
Don't quit your day job. Don't have more cash on hand than you actually represent on your IRS tax return, right? Don't tell them you make $20,000 a year and have $80,000 in a fucking shoebox somewhere. So, what I've always told people when they're dealing with this stuff is the grow. If you're going to be growing, you're going to be claiming that you're either medical and you're perfectly legit. You've got this expanded plant count, all this other thing, or you're going recreational. But when they come into the grow, all they need to see is a grow. Okay, they shouldn't see anything. They shouldn't see packaging equipment. They shouldn't see scales. They shouldn't see all of your paperwork for these kinds of things. They shouldn't find a big pile of money. They shouldn't find your handgun. If all they do is walk in and see it grow, then we've got something to work with. Because again, whatever you grow on a recreational grow that comes off the plant that stays within the same area where you grow it is legitimately sort of any amount of not any amount of weight, but a reasonable amount of weight. You're not limited to the 1 ounce, because again, the way that the 64 was written was that you could keep the pot that you harvested as long as you kept it in the same enclosed locked place where you grew it. So again, I say market recreational, or if you got medical, tag your plants that way, have your paperwork ready. But again, you don't want to, if the cops walk in and see a commercial grow operation, then it doesn't really matter what your theory is as far as medical or rec. You're clearly showing them, with your vacuum seal and everything in 1 pound bags and a whole bunch of cash and then a whole bunch of ledgers showing, who you're selling it to. Like I said, people are getting stupid, but this is what we're finding.
And the guns.
This is what we're finding in the grows. I mean, the electricity bill, if they just find a grow and they got there through an electricity bill or people saying a strange order, I mean, those are all things that we can defeat now, potentially at a motions hearing, because It takes energy to grow legal pot, and it takes energy to grow illegal pot. You can't tell anything from that. But again, when you create this, like I said, this casualness where you just think you can just do whatever, you know. Like I said, this guy had about 20 pounds of weed trash. He was just too lazy to throw it into the compost bin or take it out to the recycling place. You know, he just had tons of hefty bags of, you know, stalks and stems and dirt and, you know, and trim he wasn't using. So, you know, all that kind of stuff going on.
So maybe let's take a different approach on this. Tell us about what affects the average man, not the guy who's running a trap grow or anything like that. What about the regular guy who goes out to dinner with his wife and his kids, didn't drink that night, and has a joint on him, and then makes an illegal right turn or something like that, and I don't know, he pisses the cop off.
Sounds very specific.
I don't know. I'm just trying to throw it up because not everyone is a grower.
Okay, so here is the thing. I just got back from Portland, where I was a featured speaker on a panel for cannabis and driving. It was me and three
Hannibal. I like that.
Me and two prosecutors and a cop that was a drug recognition expert. And basically, the way it works is, and this is kind of good, Dave, that you asked me this, because this is the Christmas season, this is the holiday parties, you know, this is New Year's, all this other thing. And, you know, the cops are out there in force. And the first thing that they are going to key on is the smell of marijuana in your car, right? And you have lots of good people that come on here with all kinds of products that will make it so that there's no detectable odor in the car for this, you know, marijuana that you have with you. Okay. So obviously you're not smoking a joint and driving. You have put everything away, and the cop walks up and he doesn't smell anything in the car, doesn't smell anything on you. Well, and you have no alcohol on your breath. You know, it's almost a certainty that you are going to go ahead and go home that night. You could have smoked, you know, several joints, and their powers of discernment work backwards. They can't actually come to your car and say, wow, he has convergence insufficiency right here. Look at the rebound dilation on his pupils right now. All they do is, if they smell marijuana, they work backwards into starting to check all the boxes for cannabis impairment, because these are now part of a standard form. Okay, they have these things like, you know, is this guy, you know, bloodshot, watery eyes? Does he, does he have a careless and casual attitude? Blah blah blah.
Check his Sirius FM. Make sure he's not listening to the Dead. If he's listening to the Dead, you pull him out of that car.
Forget it.
And you start stripping.
Channel 23 on
Sirius. Turn the music
Sirius.
off. You give the guy. You don't fuck around with the paperwork. In my car, right above my head, right in the visor, is my insurance and my registration. I hand that to the cop before he's even walks up. I walk up, he smells nothing in the car, he smells nothing on me, and I'm on my way home.
Don't you have to reach for your driver's license?
And Travis, I told you he's going to pull an Irish goodbye.
Irish exit?
Yeah, exactly. He's going out to put his weed away in the car, I think.
You made him all nervous now. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
I have that effect on people. So, you know, let's assume that the guy does smell like weed. I had a client recently that is a trimmer for one of the grow houses, and he got pulled over. So the cop is running him through the DUI business because he smells marijuana. He figures the guy tells him, "Oh, I work at this grow." The cop thinks 50-50 he's got active THC in his system. Okay. And they're trained to ask you, when's the last time you smoked? They're very clever. On a scale of 10, 10 being the most stoned you've ever been, and 1 being not stoned at all, where are you? They have all these questions, and very much like, you just tell them,
man.
Dude, I'm not comfortable answering your questions. You know, don't give them that, because if you say you're a 2 out of 10, then you're impaired even to the slightest degree. You're going to catch a DWAI. If you tell the guy, well, I haven't smoked in a few hours, he knows I smoked this morning. He knows that you have active THC. So when he tests your blood, you're going to have X number of nanograms. And then I'm starting to argue about whether cannabis causes driving impairment at all, whether roadsides are bullshit, which they are, and whether you can tell from a blood test how high someone is if the psychoactive effects have worn off several hours ago. So you're really building a case for them. So the key there is just to say, I'm not comfortable answering your questions, and
talk to the guard dog.
Well, are you in agreement with the sort of the Pot Brothers script, which is why did you pull me over? And then
I don't get into a battle with the cop over that shit. Their approach is a little more confrontational, a little more kind of prove up your case kind of a thing. I've gotten out of a lot of tickets in my life, and I've never done that by going, hey, I was driving with the flow of traffic. What's your fucking problem, bud? I always
like
just
that.
yes sir, no sir.
That's a good approach. Though.
Do you ever?
That sounded pretty good. You should try that.
Do you answer the question when they ask where are you coming from?
Oh yeah.
I don't. Again, because asking where you're coming from, they're. I mean, that's more of a DUI alcohol question. I'm coming from my office party. I'm coming from Barney's bar, whatever. That question's a trap because they're going to put you, and then they may go back and ask the bartender. I've had a lot of cases get worked on backwards where they go back and get the waitress to give the receipt of the guy, how much he had to drink and shit like that. But because there's no money in pot clubs. Nobody's coming from the pot club because there are no pot clubs, because even if there were pot clubs, they don't make any money. So, you don't tell them you just went to the fish show or you just, whatever.
Well, that would be true for me.
For the most part, you just say, respectfully, I'd rather not answer your questions. Here's my,
It
It
depends
just
on the
depends.
cop.
I mean, everything's situationally dependent. But the problem with people when they are impaired is that they think they're a lot better at this game than the cops are. And the cops, all their questions are behavioral questions, open-ended questions designed to get you to, number one, talk, so that you can appear to be more fucked up than you are because you're nervous, and number two, to get you to implicate yourself and start building the case. So they're much better at it than you when you say, I'd have, every guy that I've ever had at a DUI says, I only had 2 beers. Well, guess
that's a classic.
What?
That's a classic.
You're going, and then everybody always says, I smoked a few hours ago or whatever. And the pot guys are no better at this. And so cops are good at it. You're not good at it. So don't play that game. The second thing is, do not do roadsides. Do not, under any circumstance, agree to do the roadsides, because again, the cops will say you might look perfectly fine. You might be a prima ballerina.
Stumbled while getting out of car.
Stumbled while getting out. Used car for balance. Okay. Swaying. Which is indetectable on a body cam. You can't tell if somebody's swaying or not. And they say swayed 1 to 3 inches. Estimated the time incorrectly. Those are all a trap, and you don't have to do them. You don't get into any trouble for refusing a roadside or refusing to answer a police officer's questions about these things.
So refuse.
Well, I mean, I guess there's something in the middle where you can say, with all due respect, I don't want to answer that question.
Yes, that's exactly right. And, the other, and you can always just say, well, my uncle's a lawyer, my brother's a lawyer, or I saw Jeff Gard on the Dunn show, and he said,
that's gonna work.
Never ever talk to the cops.
Don't say my name. Don't say my name when you get pulled over. That ain't gonna help you at all.
That's the first thing.
Wait a minute. What'd you say, Jeff Gard?
I was talking to Dave Charnick's lawyer.
Don't pull me.
No!
Ask about the Dunn deal.
Yeah, ask him if the Dunn deal gets you out on that.
Can I use the Dunn deal?
Don't do that. The bottom line is there are a lot of consequences for refusal. And one thing that you should know about giving up about marijuana that's different than alcohol is, as long as your lawyer pleads that down to DWAI, which they will on almost any case, you don't lose your license at all. Okay. You only lose your license if you refuse the testing. But if you take the test and your lawyer gets you an average deal in a DUI case, then you are not going to lose your driver's license. So there's there's an upside to that piece as well. And again, if you have to go all the way, there's a lot of science that say the roadsides that you took that you shouldn't have are bullshit. Blood tests have nothing to do with impairment. That's bullshit. And that people who are chronic long-term users are going to show all kinds of different blood levels, but also, statistically, they're actually pretty good drivers. So
the best drivers.
Jeff, I have a question. So how
So
often?
wait, hold on. Start the clock, Jeff.
No. I don't need.
This is all freebie. This is
I was
pro
going
bono.
to say I don't need consultation here, Dave. I just have a question in general. So regarding blood testing, how often are people getting pulled over and getting blood tested in Colorado for THC? I mean, from your understanding.
Only in cases where the cop is aware that marijuana is a factor already. Okay.
Gotcha.
Like I said, if the cop has no idea that you got, an ounce in the trunk because you put it in, the smell-proof container, he's not going to have any clue that you're under the influence of marijuana.
Totally.
It's always the guy with a bowl in the center console, a lighter, a half-open jar on the fucking passenger seat. Like I said,
Sounds
everybody's gotten very
Sounds about right to
casual.
me.
Yeah.
That sounds
For sure.
pretty common.
Well, that's right. But we all drive around with liquor in our coffee mug. I mean, that's how you do it now.
Whoa.
Well, we do. Not us lawyers.
Oh yeah.
okay. Gotcha.
You guys.
Hold on a
We
sec.
the lawyers.
Dave, can I check your mug?
Guys, our alcoholism.
We got a question from the chat here.
Oh, here we go.
Yes.
Hit
us up.
Jeff, they want to know what you think about the guy advertising mushroom sales in the Westward and what larger implications it could have. Have you heard about
that?
This
Is a felony. Okay, it's very simple. It's a felony. We are allowed to possess and we are allowed to consume mushrooms, but the psychedelic movement has, in my view, tripped over itself the same way medical did by making this therapeutic, clinical, go to your psychiatrist and take mushrooms kind of a program. We did not roll this out in a commercially viable way. So anyone selling any amount of marijuana, any amount of mushrooms, or any amount of LSD, or any amount of, all the other psychedelics, are committing felonies. And again, to put your name on the back of the Westward, that's just a freebie. I mean, any cop, if cops had more time, they would just call them up, order some, walk in, and the guy's done. I mean, that's the easiest controlled purchase in the world because the guy's advertising it. So, that guy, he's bold. Maybe he has steps in between where, you can't just get it from him right away. And, but there's no real cop proofing. There's plenty of people that are working as informants that will go in and buy on a controlled. So, that guy probably
He may be calling you. He may be calling the guard dog any day now. He may be.
That guy sounds more like a Rob Corey client to me, but I don't know. I'll help him if I can.
Whoa, throwing Corey down. Bang,
I don't
bang.
think actually he does. I don't think he practices law anymore. He was disbarred. But
yeah, well, he would have definitely been the one.
Surprise.
Right on.
Yeah, he would have said something about constitutional rights and hope everybody believed. So.
Yeah.
So before we let you go, because we know how valuable your time is, what are the majority of cases that are just being prosecuted in cannabis right now? Like, if you just had to put them in order of the top
these are all
three.
mostly it's still out of state sales stuff where they know stuff is leaving the state. They're watching a lot of that because, again, Colorado got sued by all of its neighbors for that. So they're
And are you talking about
to it.
driving out of state with like transportation?
Yeah, and driving out with saleable quantities. I'm not talking about an ounce here or your stash there. Saleable quantities, pounds in the trunk kind of a thing. But that's what they're setting up. You got to remember that drug prosecutions feed on prior drug prosecutions. So you pop a guy, and he's been in trouble before, and he's got enough problems that. The case that I told you about with the gun, they've got a confidential informant who was just as allegedly guilty, and he's informing on everybody in exchange for his deal. And what they do is once you get popped, you got to give them 3 names or complete a controlled purchase for them. And so it's your friends that are approaching you this way. So that's the way they still do it. But what they're really looking for are, not nickel and dime stuff, not small stuff, not a guy who you can get, half an ounce, quarter pound, whatever from. They are looking for proper commercial level sales, and particularly sales that are aimed at out of state.
Got it. Well,
everything,
wow.
Everything else can be pled down to a misdemeanor, and if you're a first-time offender, a deferred sentence.
Wow.
Sounds great. Sounds like a bargain.
No, I mean,
that's the done deal.
I think that for most people, that's a relief, right? Because not everyone is just loading up pounds and sending them out.
Oh,
totally.
No,
keep
the
gun out of there. Keep your cash out of there. Keep the obvious things like packaging equipment and scales. Go do that shit somewhere else. Go bring it in when you're gonna do it, and then bring it back out. Let it grow, look like it grow.
Well, the interesting you say about a firearm, though, is it a situation where you can't be using a firearm to protect your grow? What about if you're just driving home and you have a firearm in the car and you have 1/8 of an ounce locked in a box in your trunk?
Nothing can happen there.
Okay.
Nothing can happen there.
You're fine, Dave.
No, it's not me. I remember when
Dave's not a gun guy.
No, I remember when everybody went through that, right? Everyone was talking about how I don't want to give up my gun rights. I don't want to give up my gun right. And now they're talking about, look what Oklahoma did. Everyone's looking at that in a different light now, going, well, wait a second. Oklahoma had no additional shootings. There was no additional crime, and they don't give a fuck. So
right.
That's what I'm saying. I never saw the correlation. I will tell you that I had this conversation with an Oklahoma police officer at the Tulsa event we were at, because I was walking past him. I shit you not. He goes, "Excuse me, sir." He's sitting down. He's the guy that everyone said is the coolest cop in the world that they use at all their events. So I went, "Yeah." He goes, "Can I ask you a question?" I said, "Sure." He goes, "What is that thing on your arm there?"
What's that thing? What was the thing?
What was that thing?
Oh, the Dabex.
It was a Dabex.
Okay. And he said, "What is that?" And I took a breath. I was almost going to look to him and go with a smile on my face, "I don't answer questions," But, they said he was their guy. We had a conversation. And when we got to, I said, "Well, how do you feel or determine impairment in someone?" And then he gives me this line where I went, "Oh, we're all fucked." He goes, "Well, a 190-pound man could have 2 beers or 2 shots of alcohol," he said. He didn't even say beers. He had 2 shots of alcohol. And a small woman could have the same thing. And if she didn't have any food in her belly, then she's going to be impaired. But the guy who had the 2 shots, he's going to be fine. But I know for a fact, the moment you smoke marijuana, you're instantly impaired. And I said, "Sir, with all due respect, how did you come up with that? Did someone tell you that? Did you personally sit down and smoke after never having a relationship with cannabis on that? Where did that come from?" And he couldn't answer. He says, "Well, my son smokes cannabis." And I said, "How old's your son?" He said, 21. And I said, "Well, wouldn't you want someone to treat him fairly in a way to determine if he was impaired? Because this is Oklahoma. Nobody walks anywhere. Everything's way too far. You're driving everywhere."
Yeah.
And he said, and then he looked at me and he said, "I don't even bother with it anymore." I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "If I ever find it in a traffic stop, I completely ignore it. I don't even ask questions about it." And I said, "Well, that's something you should be sharing." Yeah, I said, "Please do share that with your brother and sister officers. It's just."
Oh, you're getting pulled over. That's it. You're getting
failed to
No, he was quite level-headed. I asked how old he was. He said he's 56. I said, "I'm 53, but not that far apart." He said, he has a 21-year-old son who smokes cannabis. So, I said, "You know what? You want your son to be safe? I said, there's this little product called a Yo-Tip.
Oh, shit.
And I told him about Yo-Tips, and I gave him some to give to his son. He said, I really appreciate it. I will give it to him. I want him to get sick.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Yo-Tips and Jesse, by the way. Great company.
Hey,
Great
Jeff,
product.
I'm not sure if you're aware, but you have quite a fan club here in the chat. They
Do
want
I?
you- Yeah.
Yeah, they want you for the Golden Bachelor.
No, they're asking if you talk on any other podcast or if you're exclusive to the Adam Dunn Show.
Oh, no,
Exclusive.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
Don't even
Not
let
even
him.
a question.
Don't let him answer that. He's not allowed. He's not allowed.
Hey,
I refuse to answer on
Yeah.
grounds that Adam won't
Nice.
invite me anymore.
well, do you guys know, Jeff and I go back to, like, before this was anything, when I first met Todd Dorfman, and he was like, and I'm browbeating him, going, "Dude, you're a doctor. Come on. We need friendly doctors that are friendly to cannabis, and let's do this. I mean, you should be seeing people for this. You were the first attorney I spoke with on his behalf to get the lay of the land, and that had to be like late 2008, I want to say.
It was before we started, the whole medical thing was really popping off.
Yeah, I mean,
early.
there was no one. There was no one doing it. I remember when I showed him my form, he thought I photoshopped it. You know, he didn't believe it was a real state form because it said, in my opinion, cannabis might work for you. He's like, I could sign this, and I don't even think I have to meet the patient. You know, I mean, that's how vague the form was. So it's been a long time. I mean, that's 15 years, 16 years.
Crazy. Long time.
Yeah.
We both had
Been a long
color
time.
in our hair. You know, it was.
We did.
You had hair.
Yeah.
You had hair.
And our beards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
yeah.
tell the fan club how to get a hold of me, Dave, and I'll talk to
So
you guys.
guardlaw.com, right? Guardlawfirm.com. I'm not going to give the number out because I don't want to give your cell phone out by mistake. Maybe
fine.
Mark, you can pull it up, and
Guardlawfirm.com.
it's like 3030, something like that, right?
Yeah.
303-443-3040.
That's 499-3040.
There we go. 303-499-3040. Thank you as always,
Thank you,
Jeff.
Jeff.
I
Always
really
a pleasure,
appreciate it.
and I'll look forward to seeing you guys soon.
Yeah, and I hope I never see you again.
Yes.
Peace.
Take care, man.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. As always.
We're sitting there the whole time. I'm like, I don't want to smoke on with him. You know what I mean? It's like they're going to pull that one up. They're going to be like, well, he asked a legal question about using cannabis with the lawyer on the phone, and now we have that on tape.
Dave.
Oh,
I'm such a puss.
Dude, you come to the show to get spooked now.
That's it. All he does is get sick. Oh, he got
swear.
spooked.
Dude,
Totally
they
spooked.
fucking, we're not going there. But yeah, it was
If you want to see
great.
Dave spook, just go to every show. At a certain point, he will be spooked.
This? In Oklahoma.
Oh, you mean like in
Yeah,
a
that's
conference?
what I
Oh,
thought.
yeah. Well, I can't. I have trouble there. It's like I'm good if I'm around you, or if I've got a wingman or something like that. But the moment like I get turned loose and get overwhelmed, I find myself in my car and I drive home. And at 6 o'clock, So I don't know. This one was okay because it was so much fun. I mean, we handed out Yo-Tips to every single person that entered. Oh, I threw away the lighter because I didn't like
it, Dave?
Yeah, I guess
All right,
so.
I got you.
No, dude, then he gets all picky about the lighter that I get.
Well, we were joking. I was making a joke that only he and you would get if you saw the lighter. I don't want to show it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Poor you.
Wow.
Poor you.
Thank you for being a trooper last week and coming to
Oh, thank
Tulsa
you.
and taking
That's
care of
great.
that because, I
Oh,
could hear it in his
Let's
voice.
do our 15.
We killed it.
Let's do a 15-minute little wrap up before we get RedBeard on here, because I told him at 6, so that's kind of perfect.
What 15-minute rap? Like,
Yeah,
for
about
sell some shit?
About last week. A little
Cowboy
wrap
Oh,
up.
my
Cup.
goodness.
Cowboy Cup update.
do you-
Rap.
So
party.
I'm going to say this. I know because you won't, because you are humble. But I'm going to say this.
What's that?
Cowboy Cup made a fucking mistake.
Oh, what happened?
We should have won Best Booth.
Oh,
100
Oh,
fucking
totally.
percent.
No question.
100 fucking
question.
percent.
yeah, but it wouldn't look good.
I don't give a fuck. Everybody was talking about it. Every single person. And who did we lose to? Some guy that put fucking vape sticks in a pool noodle.
Yeah.
Come on.
They were also a main sponsor too, though.
Come on.
It's okay.
You don't think that makes it look a little worse?
I think we won the People's Award.
We always win.
honestly.
We
like
Everything else about the event was fucking amazing. Daniel fucking crushed it. You got to look
But
at
I
it
didn't
like it was.
expect to win. I didn't expect us to
We
win
should have
anything.
won.
I had a great time at the Cowboy Cup.
No,
And
you
as-
calm down. we were fine. We'll always win best booth. It's never been a problem. We've always had the most crowd at the end of the show because all the people just know that we're just hanging out and having a good time at our spot. We always have. This time was no different. I think we had originally we were going to have a 20 by 20, so that was probably our booth that they were in. So it's one of those deals. But if we had that, it would have been fine because we would have filled it all up. But in a way, we were like, it all just balanced. It was one of those things where it was just like perfect at the end, where you're like, okay, well, everything balanced out perfect. We got a good little spot. Yeah, the only problem I have with every event like that, though, is it's like, if I leave the booth, I'm missing out. If I don't leave the booth,
You're
I'm missing
missing
out.
out.
Well,
So I'm always missing out. Don't matter
Yes,
what I
you
do, because
are.
I'm like, I should have walked around more. But then if I do, I get so trapped to that. And then I come back to the booth, they're like, dude, 19 people just came over looking for you. They all wanted to buy seeds, and now they all left. And you're like, no, and nobody can sell
So we'll
them.
put an Apple AirTag on you, and then we can.
Well, you know what I was going to do before during it was pre-COVID actually, and then COVID kicked in, and I was like, oh, I should have got it. It was like I wanted to get one of those little self-balancing robot deals with the iPad, and then just send it to the shows, and then have somebody take care
personal conveyance.
of it. That way, it's like I could just be there, but I don't have to be there.
Oh, that's a good
I
idea.
can just sit at home and be like, hey, what's going on?
No,
bud?
this is a great idea.
You like this?
This is.
I could do the whole
This
show.
is what Mark wants to live his life that way.
Yeah,
Send
I
it.
mean, I want to show up on an iPad everywhere.
He'll be 900 pounds.
Well, they weren't that expensive either. They're like,
Wait, that's the new
1,500
TV show, My 900-Pound Mark.
really?
Yeah,
He's
that's
an
what it'll
iPad.
be.
He's a giant
Yeah,
iPad,
yeah.
rolling iPad.
No,
machine.
he'll become 900 pounds from eating himself
Oh.
because he never leaves because he sends the iPad everywhere.
Oh, he's got 9 iPads working for him all around town.
If
I
I
got
did
9
that,
different jobs.
I get a standing desk with a treadmill.
No,
under it.
so back to Cowboy Cup. Amazing event. Perfect amount of vendors, I thought.
Crazy how good the weather was too. We were
so good.
Very
Yeah.
lucky.
Super lucky.
How about getting back to Denver and seeing all that slop all over the
Oh,
roads?
yeah.
It was just,
Didn't miss that.
it's so funny. I drove through so many little small Colorado towns because I took 285 back. The road fucking clear everywhere. Maybe saw a little bit of snow way on the sides. Get to Boulder, icy everywhere. You can't see the lanes.
The worst.
It was. I don't think Boulder pays for city snow maintenance
No.
during the winter, or the person who does it is pocketing all the money. It's fucking terrible. I was so pissed. I even left an Instagram message for the Daily Camera saying, "Do you guys live in Boulder at all?"
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like
You guys
driving
live
in
in
Boulder.
Louisville.
Yeah, fuckers, come on,
You
baby.
should be the plow king, dude.
What's
I don't want to
funny-
be the plow king. I don't want to
Do
do
it.
that. I
You
just
should
don't
fix
want to
it.
have to drive on.
not?
Because people are stupid.
My GPS switched up in the middle of the route back to, and it sent me through Texas, up
Of all
Oklahoma.
Did it to
down-
fucking
yeah,
Adam too?
Texas
Send him
and
to
up.
Kansas.
Mine-
Yeah, you got to be watching that. It tried to do that to us too, but I
It
was
was
watching.
Waze. It just reroutes, and I was like,
sent-
"Oh, I guess I'm going to Texas."
Yeah, it sent me to Kansas, and I was just kind of like, and it was funny because I wasn't in Kansas, but I thought I was in Kansas, and then all of a sudden I'm in Kansas, and I'm like,
Yeah.
motherfucker, I thought I was in Kansas the whole time because I couldn't tell, and it was kind of like in these little, it was like nothing was. I saw all Kansas plates because
Yeah.
everybody's driving. I was like, oh, I guess I'm in Kansas.
Yep.
How about? Wait, I forgot something you told me.
What's that?
I mean, we talked about it on our little Instagram thing,
that?
but Adam was almost a victim of a
I already figured
slavery abduction.
No, I figured it out.
Yeah,
I figured it out.
they might have put a roofie in his cherry pie.
It wasn't a roofie. You know what it was?
What was it?
It was fucking lard, probably.
Oh yeah, in the crusts.
Yeah, 'cause they deep
fuck
fry-
yeah.
And so me
Yep.
and Cece both.
What
got-
was it from?
So wait, let's back up. So he was driving along, okay? He sees a sign
He knows
in
this.
like Amish country.
It wasn't Amish country. It just was. It turned out.
to be a little Amish cultish thing, and very culty. Did I mention culty with the locks and the hairs and the
Culty.
pastel
It was very
colors?
cottagey,
Very
yeah.
culty. So it said fried pies. So he figures, well, hey, I'll pull over, get some for Nick, get some for Ace. Figure, you know what? I actually thought of you guys while I was on the road. Really put a lot of thought into
like
this.
20 different flavors. So I was
bought one. I'll take one of that, one of that, one of that, one of that, one of that.
Yeah.
Eats the cherry pie, and starts driving, and has, like, the way he described it, a diabetic incident. Where his eyes started, flickering. He couldn't focus on the road. Cece's looking at him going, what the fuck? I've been around you when you've taken massive amounts of drugs and never behaved this way before, and now you're doing this over a cherry pie. So they pull over in a Walmart and sleep for a couple of hours. Yeah. And that's when he tells me that story, I go, oh, they were trying to drug you. They roofied your fucking pie. They were that's how they get the members of the cult.
It had a vibe like that, but it was funny because then I brought it home, gave her hers and Nick, and they loved them. Whatever. I mean, Nick eats fucking barbecue, so they have a different.
Nick took a sample of brisket.
They got microbes. They got a whole different set of microbes.
Nick eats barbecue. That's a T-shirt.
And so we both didn't kind of get it. Because we felt better after an hour and a half or something like that. Okay, I was like, all right, I think I can drive now. And then I was fine. But I was like, man, what was going on? Because it felt exactly like it does when you're on your 15th hour.
Did you get the sweat?
No, I just had the eye thing where I couldn't, I was getting the,
dude,
the
worst.
Right out of the gate, though. It was weird. I was
That's
like,
weird.
I've been on the road for an hour. I shouldn't have that.
Yeah.
This is like coming up on drugs or something here.
It was weird. It was weird. But then, an hour later, I was good. But it was a rough one.
Micro's saying that cherries contain melatonin.
You think that was it?
Oh.
I think it's still the lard.
Micro.
No, the lard killed it.
Yeah,
it was
the lard. We gotta blame the lard.
Pig lard, I'm sure.
So basically, right now, you're no longer a vegetarian.
No, that's not how it works.
Yep. You're an involuntary meat eater.
No. If I was going for
clock.
It would be.
Wait, it would be like CC and donuts?
Because of course, yeah.
You're going to crave pies now.
We're indirectly eating meat all the time without knowing it because they're like, oh, yeah, really?
Oh, shit. I didn't know that had this in it. Yeah.
Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows?
I get it. And so handing out yo tips, ton of fun. Everybody used them. Very receptive. So if you happen to and a lot. So many people.
That kind of. It was the. It's funny because there was very limited tchotchkes compared to other shows.
Right.
So everything was very well received as far as you could tell. Everyone was like, "Whoa, for free!
For free! Whoa!
Like, yes, for free." But those guys killed it with their, putting it all together and having it branded for the event, and that definitely.
I loved seeing them rip the Jerome Baker bong. We
have plenty of yo tips in the studio with
feeling fucking zooted.
Oh, there you go.
I have a huge box.
Oh yeah, Vinny knows.
Yeah. Huge. Anybody, any guests that come through, automatically have to take them home with them.
Well, hold on. Let me give thanks to you for the brainchild of being on the phone call with me, you, and Christian Ratto when you sort of.
Yeah.
It sort of morphed. It grew out of an idea into something, and then Vinny Jason Harris for blowing the tube, but Vinny putting that together, and it was just. I just want to thank him for doing. I mean, he did 97 test runs.
I know.
Oh, dude, Vinny made sure that thing was dialed in.
No, he did it for us.
I know.
He wanted to make sure
it was for the show, bro.
that
for science
for the show that they took care of it. And now we went through 3 tanks before any of us ever took it. But listen, it needed to happen for safety purposes.
It was one more. Let me see. That didn't
my
quite
vacation.
do it. It didn't quite do it. Let me double check.
And then there was one point in time after it was all said and done.
In Denver.
Yeah, that's a T-shirt.
Totally all said and done. It's packed up. When I opened up the trailer door, and Vinny went complete old school with the tube in the tank. And
the yo tips fit on the end of the thing. There was a discovery of the fact that yo tips fit perfectly on the surgical tube.
The surgical tube.
If you have 2 tube
so you
sides.
can knock it off, you mean?
No, you pass the tube around in there. You don't have to sit there and fucking.
The surgical tube needed some.
I don't think that's what they want.
Redesign on the other end.
No, it's medical grade. They love to hear that, of course.
Yeah. Oh, great!
Once again, yet another reason.
That's great.
But Mark and I forever will hear, "I'm gonna die."
Who said that?
Ace.
Oh.
Never mind.
It's a never mind story.
It's a never mind.
Got it.
Vinny
But that was amazing device. I
you
can
okay,
see
dude?
it. I can see it being something where it could be. You can have an event
Just
behind this.
relax. Don't
It was
you
great.
worry.
It
Don't
was
you
a lot
worry.
of fun.
It was basically, again, I told you, it was 60% of what I wanted to do. And there's plenty more on top of that. There's
It's coming.
40 more that I wanted to do before, and then probably 40 more percent that we.
You have
figured
trouble
out.
taking compliments? Take the compliments.
You
Jesus Christ.
Just
Take
don't
the
worry,
compliment.
it's not
Yeah,
happening yet.
and then MJ BizCon the week before. You know
There's
what?
the
I
party
want to
guy.
say there were only 4 people I know of who didn't get sick after both events, and you're looking at them right here. Right? Were you at both of them? Were you at?
I was just at Cowboy
Yeah.
Cup now.
So yo tips really fucking work. Okay, don't share a joint with someone. You're sharing every germ they have, everything.
I don't know about every germ. I think possibly
Lots of 'em.
there's a few.
Lots, yeah,
There's
for
a
sure.
few
This
you're not.
is the first. I mean, this is the first MJ Biz, and
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I didn't do fucking shit.
so go to yotips.com and order some.
Yeah, shout out to Jesse.
No doubt.
I love smoking out the van with you, Jesse, if you're listening. That was a fucking blast, man.
Just the photo of the dog behind him.
The dog is awesome.
Yeah.
We smoked out the Grand Caravan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, with Cece. It was great.
that's fun.
It was a fun time.
Yeah, that's what we need eventually. We need a little minivan.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Show needs a minivan, quick.
All right.
Rosendog,
Rosendog.
come
Yeah.
on, hurry up, do
Yeah.
something.
Relax,
Yo tip rap
Get
on
us
it,
a
too.
fucking minivan.
Yeah. Oh no, he's traveling right now.
Give us an old one.
He's at an event somewhere. I think
Is
he's
he?
in. Yes.
It should be a
oh, yes.
driving
Oh no, he
yo
is
tip.
exactly.
Sour
I saw,
Family Farms
I
is
saw-
now has been invited somewhere.
I saw that. They don't
you know,
realize. They'll figure it out. They'll be like, why did we do that?
Yeah. So you know it'll be.
And anybody who was prematurely thinking we're going to have a big show today.
Not many people know about it, so we may
No.
not need to go into
Well,
it.
we don't have to go into it, but there was announcements being made. People were making cartoons.
We
things
talked
were
about it
happening.
on Tuesday.
People were hyping it before ever the ink got dry. So we're working on it. We tried to get too many things at once. Too many major players couldn't be there, so we're gonna end up with a sour episode part. What is it, 3 now? We're at part 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
third,
3?
The third
The
episode.
third.
Yeah, I don't know that. Whatever you just did, not
Third.
that. It wasn't that. It definitely was not that. But we were, prematurely announcing Sour Show. Got a little excited. Everyone got a little heated. As Sour does. It just fucking does it every time. I was like, dude, it hasn't even started. And
It
so
makes people sour.
It immediately made people go fucking
Yeah.
get all weird. So I thought that was Dave before. I thought that for sure that was Dave.
Kick a fat kid at Kmart.
Oh yeah, did I mention what happened to me when I pulled into Oklahoma? That my
Oh.
car announced to me that my BMI made me svelte when I entered Oklahoma.
No.
Yeah, because I went into a Walmart and I looked around and I went, oh my gosh, I can wear like a large here. That's
Yeah.
how small I am.
Yeah, they have their own sizes.
Oh yeah,
At
it's
the
amazing.
Individual Walmarts have their own sizes.
They're pretty
Oh,
big
yeah.
in
I
Oklahoma.
didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah.
They're
They
pretty
changed
big.
the size based on the demographic, you know?
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
It's like where I'm at in the valley, like the Walmart there's like tons of like Mexican sections and you know
Hey.
like
I like
no, it's
the-
great. I'm not complaining.
I like the
it's
Dollar
best.
General.
Come on,
Like
dude.
Mexican food.
They have
and
Mexican
have-
sections at their
Where?
Walmart.
He's
At
getting
our
racist, and you're not
Walmart.
standing up for
No,
your
it's
people.
not
You're not
racist.
standing up for your own
It's
people?
Damn.
It's an ethnic.
That's a
There's
uh,
it's a
you know,
shorter,
thing.
wider section. It's a shorter, wider section.
That's over
Oh,
here.
no, it's just they have a lot of
dead.
It's a King
they have a lot
Super.
of specialty
We're going to hell.
products. So that's all I meant is they change it based on who
I
lives
thought you were
there.
talking about clothing sizes.
Yeah, it's good.
That's Tracy Morgan, right? I know that one.
Exactly. We were
so
just talking
coming
about
on. So
that.
and again, in a couple minutes now, we have RedBeard RedBeard Farmer with a P and an H, who's a friend of Ricky's. And like I said, we met last year online. Like he was growing RBK, so it was kind of like one of the people he trusted, which is good enough for me.
All
And
right.
I sent Ricky a link, and I told him he can come on if he wants, whenever. But
Can we, before we get onto this, just something I wanted to say about just breeding, I don't want to use the word like competition, but just the way breeders try to outperform each other, outproduce each other, come up with that latest, greatest terpene, that cannabinoid profile, that experience. And I think people are getting, for lack of a better term, butthurt over totally the wrong things. That
Nobody gets butthurt over weed.
No,
Never.
they do. Nobody fucking care. At least, sorry, I don't fucking care who came up with it first. If we're talking about something that happened 30 fucking years ago, okay?
Yeah, but at the same time, that is the most important part too, because it's sometimes
don't
if
care.
5 people claim it, then you kind of have to know who
that is that is very relevant.
Because
that
the
if
other 4
someone
people don't technically deserve to say that.
I understand, but I want to say here's the byproduct of all of that is we all got to smoke fire fucking weed where you breeders tried to outdo each other, so it got better and better and better. So I thank you all for that, and I'm sorry I don't feel the same way about how you feel about how that first person, because I know it must feel like an artist getting ripped off or plagiarized if you're a writer, something like that. I get it, but we should never forget that that's why we're smoking what we're smoking today, because you guys tried to out-terp each other 35 years ago. But RedBeard, welcome to the show.
What's up?
Chilling.
Welcome.
What's happening?
Wait, this one I already
Thank you.
smoked.
I'm just chilling myself.
Well,
this one.
What's going
Trying
on?
to figure out this stupid technology. I'm not used to these Zoom things, so I got 2 screens of myself on my. Anyways, I'm good.
It sounds good. That's good. But usually, if you have 2 screens, as long as you don't have 2 sound things clashing at the same time, then we
Oh yeah.
And you don't have it shot up from the crotch or anything like that, so we're not getting nose hairs or anything. So you're doing fine.
Perfect.
So
yeah, I've been watching the whole show.
So Kyle, we figured since your book was growing weed for dweebs, we'd have a dweeb on the show.
Yeah,
and so
totally.
Kyle volunteered to fill that role. And so
100%.
feel free to talk directly to him right over here. See, he didn't get the
Yeah.
message about wearing black. So the guy in gray talked
guy
straight
in gray.
anytime you need the
This guy.
dweeb. He that's him.
Totally.
Got it. Perfect.
Yeah. I'm the dweeb, I guess.
It's the greatest moment of my life.
I claim myself as a dweeb as well. Don't
Hell
you
yeah.
worry.
Let's go together.
Yeah, I guess out of the gate.
let's-
I mean, it's funny because people are like, ooh, and I'm like, dude, you got to look at it like, right when I'm sure the first guy that came up with the anything for dummies had the same people
Totally.
going like, really, you want to call your audience dummies? I don't know if they're gonna like
Oh,
that.
it's
And you're
like being a
Oh
nerd.
no, they're gonna fucking go for it. You know what I mean? So-
Are you sure?
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Are
Like
you?
being a nerd's a good thing now. Like
Now
I'm
it is.
proudly a nerd,
Oh,
in
my-
that sense.
Absolutely.
Talk to
Yeah.
Nick. Talk to Nick.
I can also proudly be a dweeb though. It's maybe a new thing.
Yeah, well, we took the nerd word back. We reoccupied the word because after Revenge of the Nerds, it just seemed they were all perverts who,
Totally. Yeah, you
just
gotta spin
committed
it
a
off.
whole bunch of felonies with the cameras and everything in that movie. But anyway,
When was Dweeb
the
officially
good old
started?
days.
Dweeb's like a 50s thing or
I-
60s?
You guys would know.
why
better
don't
than
we
me.
ask the author?
What is the history of Dweebs?
Honestly, it rhymes with weed, dude. I mean,
Oh, I know that
you
part.
know, and dummies was taken. I mean, what more would you want? You know what I'm saying?
Sure, but did you look into the history of dweebs? Since you're now a dweeb expert, you have to be an expert at this thing. You gotta know your
No.
history.
I haven't looked.
What if
into
the
dweeb.
Nazis made it up or something?
No.
You're like,
Oh,
all of a
dude,
sudden, you're
wow.
like, dude, you know that's a Nazi term,
Dweebenstrassen.
right? Dweebenhausen.
It stems from some really crazy.
You don't want to be doing that.
No. Well, maybe now
No.
you kind of might, though, because it's popular again.
Good point.
Yeah.
All that shit's popular these days. Hey, am I allowed to say that?
Yeah,
Oh,
you're allowed to
just,
say anything.
we'll have to fucking edit that out.
Yeah,
later in
motherfucker,
post.
you
Yeah.
fucking
I'm glad
guy
we got
talking-
the fucking editor guy.
Fucking
Who's the
swear
in-house
it on my
editor,
fucking-
Mark or
Mark's the editor.
Okay.
I'm trying. It's sticky weed.
60% of the time, it works every time.
So what how did you just wake up one morning and you said, oh, I have the greatest title for a book?
Pretty much.
What came first, title or the idea? That's what we should know.
My wife is the one that kind of actually came up with it, so I got to give her the credit where credit's due. But yeah, her and I were just discussing, and boom, there it came, and we looked at each other with the light bulbs in our head and the bright eyes, like, that's it, perfect.
Just so you know, during your divorce proceedings, we cannot edit that out. You just admitted to giving her credit for the entire idea of your entire book concept. So you're fucked. You better be fair.
Totally. Hey, after 25 years, I think we're all right. We'll be good.
So was it the growing side, or was it the art side, or was it the creative side, or what was the main point behind the putting it together? Like, since it's like a group thing.
Honestly, it truly is, a beginner's grow book. It basically tells everything that I do on a daily basis in a short way. I just tell them the temperatures and the when to pick and pictures of what should look like and how to make a room and just dummied it down, long story short, to where a dweeb could understand what I was trying to say.
And because I haven't got to see it yet.
That's trippy.
Yeah, don't touch that anymore.
I like that art.
No, it looks great.
It makes the art look cool.
Keep doing it. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Is that his side or our side?
No, I think he's noticing whenever I switch over to his solo side, I think he thinks you're just seeing what we're seeing on the show over here. So
don't sweat it. We're not. Yeah. Yes.
Don't
You're good. Don't worry about it.
My screen.
You're like, oh shit! Don't open that. Don't open that window.
We figured you were a pro when you turned your phone sideways.
You can't see what's on my screen, can you? It's like, no.
Porn for dweebs. What? Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
That's the next one, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, because if you need that, Mark is available for shoots. He's sort of branching out.
Hated it.
So, and because you're now in Utah. You were in Cali when I first met you, right? Is that you came
correct?
Big changes there, right?
Big changes. Well, like we spoke on the phone the other day, and I told you I moved out here in 2007, so it was a big change then. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But in 2018, they started writing the bill for medical, and then in 2019 or 20, I believe it passed. So, I mean, we're a medical state, so
Which is actually a good pocket to be in right now, because it's like the last of that, and then soon come. Plus, I guess in Utah, because it is like the epicenter of supplements and shit, right? That's where they make all that product. So I can imagine they're going gangbusters over there now. Because when I was there, probably around the 2018, 20. So I think we were on our way back from MJ BizCon. We went through there and went through a couple tours and it was like everybody was like within a stone's throw of each other. 5 manufacturers all doing CBD lines and all just like pretty much like these. Their version of what cannabis would be in a normal business park here is just supplements and just warehouses full of shit. You know what I mean? So it's like I can imagine that's.
Well, what is the Mormon Church's position on cannabis?
So, obviously in the beginning they were trying to fight it, back before. Obviously, this has been a battle. So,
and sorry, when I say the Mormon Church, I mean the state of Utah in general.
Yeah, exactly. So they were pushing hard, but the coalitions and all the groups and everybody that we have out here that help push it forward. So long story short, now the church is, I don't know, quote unquote involved. They have their say of what goes on, as they have their say in most everything in the state. Like you said, the church is the state. So
that's crazy. Yeah.
But it's at least they gave in, I guess. I thought this would be the last state. Like I said, I moved out here in 2007, and I thought we would be the last state to ever have anything to do with cannabis. And look, here we were, I think the 31st or 32nd, or I don't know, somewhere in that range. So now we're looking at Texas or Idaho. We'll see which one of those are going to be last,
Yeah, it's crazy. Idaho, I think Idaho makes too much money off of Oregon, so they just like they like that tax. They like just making money off people more. It's easier than giving.
Easier that way, right?
I think Idaho's gotten convinced that somehow people are going to stop growing food in Idaho, and they're going to all grow these massive cannabis farms, and there's not gonna be any food for anybody. It's it's like I'm thinking of the dumbest reason possible. That's what they probably came up with.
I just think that because of Oregon, it's just such a moneymaker for them. It has been for so long.
So it's there. So Idaho is Oregon's Kansas to us.
Pretty much, exactly, and sort of that same mentality too, where you're just like, well, it's a lot easier just to pull them over.
We got these great new police cars now.
Take all their stuff.
Yeah, I drove through there, and there's a weird law. I think it was Oregon, where you have to pull your boats over, even kayaks, and they inspect every single vessel that goes through their state. And I think it's because of Washington and being on the coast there, but.
Because of the shell, because
of things sticking on the bottom and just
it's probably for that.
Yeah, just crazy.
Because people transport.
I drove through and I was like, you have to pull over and get your kayak inspected. Any vessel, like,
because it's really dangerous. Whatever that snail is, it's an invasive snail.
I just hadn't seen it. That's crazy.
They got that. Like when I come into Utah traveling, they got the same shit going on. They want to check your vessel, but. They're checking a lot more for stuff coming out of the Oregon and whatnot than just that little muscle,
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, good excuse.
Yeah. Wait, what could come out of Oregon?
Good excuse, exactly.
I'm looking for a tiny mussel in that big sack of grass right there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No mussels in there. So tell us a little bit about your book. So how many copies have you sold? You getting a lot of good feedback? Is there going to be version 2 for like Uber Dweebs?
Right. So honestly, the book just got published this week, like Monday or Tuesday. So I personally don't even have a finished copy yet. Mine's coming in the mail. It's new as could be. We're having a launch party on December 20th. That goes through Amazon, and they promote it and all kinds of stuff, and try and get to be a bestseller and what have you. So hopefully that goes well on the 20th. But it's up on the site, available for sale. The ebook, like I was saying, on the 20th, it'll be 99 cents. But as far as the book goes, it's just a simple, very simple. I ain't seen.
You're gonna have to do a cage match with Danny Danko now. That's the only thing
Well, you'll be on the show in 2 weeks, so don't worry about it.
Danny Danko, what's his called?
I gave him grow weed for yourself.
No, that's
grow bud for yourself.
That's the name of his show, but is that the name of his book?
Right.
No.
Danny Danko's?
Yeah, his book.
Oh, I don't know.
He's got a super simple.
I know Ed's book is now out, and he was online holding it, and I didn't. I was so tempted. I was going to write, everyone's writing, that's the greatest, that's the greatest, that's the greatest. I was going to write, that's 25 pounds.
He could beat you with that book.
He'd beat you to death.
Yeah. You got to watch out. Ed's book's thick.
Mine is not.
Yeah, I know.
It's like 80 pages.
Keep it simple.
That's still pretty thick, though. I mean, that's a good size.
And probably 20 or 30 of them are pictures. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it's needed, though, when you're growing. I mean, you can't just go off of text, right? Like, if you had 80 pages with no pictures, that'd be probably a problem in today's age.
I have several books, and the ones that got no pictures, they're brand new.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. I'm a visual learner as well.
They didn't even get opened. They were a gift or something, but I ain't got no pictures. I ain't reading this shit.
Yep.
Sorry.
So before.
But no, super simple, man. I mean, literally, it's. I'm almost. I ain't gonna lie. I was telling Adam, I'm super nervous. I've never put myself out to the public like this, but it's for all the people that call me like, hey, what do I do? What do I do? And you just. I don't want to say you get tired of answering or telling them the same thing over and over again. So, just threw it all down in a book in the quick, simplest way. What to do from a clone to flipping the lights, when you're going to pick, when you're going to harvest, how long to cure. Nothing scientific. I don't tell you how to look for bugs or mold or fungus or any of that shit. It's just strictly scheduled temperatures, and that's kind of it.
You're going more for success than trying to troubleshoot on this one in a sense.
Right.
But also at least
if you follow the steps in this book, as long as you don't have no problems arise, such as pest or mold or anything, which you shouldn't if you keep to the steps.
Right.
You're gonna have killer fire.
How do you feel about germinating in paper towels for 3 weeks? That's bad, right?
I think it's lame. I don't.
Okay.
I mean, I put them in a cup and
Mark,
and
pay
full
attention.
of water
Paper towel thing.
and they germinate in about 24 to 48 hours usually.
It's okay. I'm just beating a really old joke to death right now because Mark did that 4.5 years ago.
Maybe longer.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure we all have. Don't get me wrong, but you know, the hot plate or the seed mat up above the oven in the kitchen. Yeah.
It used to be like on top of the fridge was always like the spot, right?
Yeah,
and people
right?
was like just warm enough, but not just not too much, you know. And you have to.
But only if your coils are free of dust behind it. Otherwise, it comes out the bottom.
Yeah, or if it's out of your sight line, and then you kind of go, oh shit, and you go up and look, and they're all dried up. And you're like, so definitely, you could do a whole book on that, just on the mistakes, you know what I mean? Because that might be a help. But we were talking the other day, and you said that you're going to do kind of open this up to a whole bunch of different, which is good if you keep the book real simple, because then you have multiple other ways to get a little deeper.
Podcasting for dweebs.
Yes.
Yeah,
correct. Exactly.
We're writing that.
Hey, the list.
You already have the content.
Yeah, I got a couple more coming. Like I'm going to keep that simple as well. You know, write about popping some beans, write about cutting some clones. You know, preventive measures. You know, maybe making a little hash. Maybe I got a buddy that out here that is really into mushrooms. Ryan Salty Grows. He does a lot of mushroom growing as far as you know. I'm not talking magic mushrooms or anything like that.
Of course not. Of course not.
No, the good mushrooms.
No, never.
Good mushroom. Well, they're all good mushrooms. But hey, who's asking? But
nobody. Not the police.
Good for you, health-wise.
Health-wise, exactly.
Right.
So
lion's mane, reishi, cordyceps.
Yep. So I'm going to get with him, and we're going to write a quick, you know, possible mushrooms for dweebs growing. You know, take it as far as we can, and you know, my wife's already at me. You better get in there and start writing the next book. And I'm like, I hear you, but
now you're gonna turn into Ed Rosenthal. You're
get
be
the
like,
fever.
Right?
Is your wife's name Jane?
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Okay,
Close,
just checking.
but no. No, and I basically told her, dude, I'm good right now. Let's just celebrate this one being done and see what happens. You know.
Let me translate what your wife said.
We get and
she
go
said,
from there.
"I want to get paid again." So let's
right?
go.
Like,
You're my cash cow.
Yep.
Start writing gold.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's a catch to the dweebs. In order to trademark it, you have to write a series. Otherwise, I couldn't trade. According to my lawyer, anyways. You know, I'm no lawyer. I should have maybe chimed in earlier with the dog, but he's telling me I got to write a series. So that's at least 2. So
you know, he just gave himself away.
Yeah,
He was listening to the show.
Yeah.
Like beforehand, like he heard the guard dog.
Oh yeah.
Mark doesn't even listen to the show, and he's a producer.
The whole time.
That's amazing. Thank you for that.
I'm not listening just because I'm on today. I watched the show.
No shit.
I didn't even know what happened in the first hour.
We should let's come up with some Adam Dunn Show trivia for him here and see if he can win any prizes.
Come on now.
What does he know?
I couldn't even tell you a trivia about the movie I watched last night. Let's not go there.
Okay.
I am a stoner, guys.
You're allowed to smoke. We notice you haven't. You know, you can relax and kick back with us.
There's laws in Utah, and we'll just keep my smoking to myself.
I thought you guys were medical state. Or is that CBD medical?
But so I mean, okay. Here's how it works. Your cannabis. So you have to have a medical card, okay?
Okay.
So now that you have a medical card, you think, oh, I got this bag of weed, I'm good. No, you have to have something from a store, okay? So, okay, no problem. I'll go to the store, I'll grab me a jar, and I'll smoke that weed, and then I'll put my own weed in the jar.
Oh, genius.
Yeah.
Oh, genius.
Yeah, genius, right? Well, no, the jar expires too.
Cocksucker.
Okay, so those are some of the loopholes. Now, you're allowed to smoke, but you can't light it on fire.
That's crazy.
Okay, wait, back up there. You can smoke, but you can't light it on fire. Now you have me perplexed.
You can
so you can vaporize it?
Paper sales are down. So paper sales are not so hot there. You're like,
What's that?
I'm sure they're not affected. I'm sure people are just like, this is...
No, because you can use an electric lighter. You get what I'm saying? As long as it doesn't produce a flame to light your product, you're good.
Crazy.
This is the biggest bunch of hyperbolic bullshit I have ever heard in my life. This is in the level of how you can now raise pigs in Israel that are kosher as long as they never walk on the earth. They raise them on wood planks, and that's their loophole of the Bible. Oh my! Fuck! Get the
fuck out of
the
here.
Emperor Jack. The Emperor truly wears no clothes, buddy. Rest in peace, man. Holy shit! Oh, that is just fucking funny. So basically, they get you for a lighter. He's got a lighter. Get down.
Right? I mean, I don't know
Go to jail
how
for a lighter.
all that works because I mean, you can't smoke in public or anything like that. So obviously, they're getting you with, you know, the idiots flaunting their shit on social media and whatnot. And
so wait, so this is legal then? This should be the required smoking device of Utah.
Yes.
Is the DabX Go?
The Puff Coast, the Dab.
No.
Sorry, I'm not trying to.
Now we have to edit. God damn it. Oh, wait, I said cut.
Fucking
Oh,
RedBeard.
shit, I'm going to hell.
Okay,
Wait,
thank
I
you.
don't believe in hell.
The
Seriously.
all the DabXs and all that are 100%. They fly off the shelves out here.
I
because
love
that's
this
the only
thing.
way.
Love my dab bags.
So do you have a store up there that we can get in touch with? We'd love to get them a retail contract to sell them. You know, they buy them wholesale from DabX, and
So
I can have it set up
there's
tomorrow.
A badass store in town, Borough Syndicate. You guys might have even heard of them. They ship all over the nation, except for Pennsylvania, of course.
Exactly.
Get us in touch tomorrow if you don't mind, and I will get them the form to fill out to become a DabX retailer.
Absolutely. Borough, if you're watching, hopefully you heard that. They're probably watching because.
Nice.
So speaking of that, I gotta say you're probably just fine with it. You fucking love it. For me, when people come up to me and say, "Are you Dave from the Adam Dunn Show?" I get like I'm standing like I'm a 13-year-old and I see some girl that I'm in, like she looked at me and I don't know what to do and I get all clammy and sweaty and everything. But I think everybody who listens to this show lives in Oklahoma.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, a lot of people.
Yeah, I think it's because we went the last couple of years and we created. They were like, wow, you guys are actually pretty cool.
Oh, for sure.
We didn't realize.
Yeah, and I thank everyone who listens to the show. I thank you very much. It keeps Mark around because if we had to get someone else that we actually had to pay, we probably wouldn't have a producer.
Mark.
So
yeah.
it's thank you. I truly appreciate it. Adam doesn't say it. He appreciates you. Anybody listening to the show.
I appreciate Mark, yeah.
And now let me pander. Hit that like and subscribe button.
Oh, yeah. If you appreciate
both
Mark,
you guys.
If you don't want Mark to leave, because he's ready to go.
What did I say before the show? Kyle was so gracious. He's like, do you have a jar? I'd like to give you some hash. I said, well, 2 because I'm going to split it with Mark. And
I just gave Mark. Yeah, Mark.
And he said, no, I'll take care of Mark. And Mark got a bigger jar than me. So see how that works? I'm happy for him.
Hey, Mark actually dosed out the jar, too. He gave the jar to you. So it was his choice to give you the smaller jar. Actually, give me back my jar.
Did you James Loud me or did I James Loud you?
No, I just gave him.
No, you did great.
I grabbed the first empty jar that I saw.
Yeah.
No, Oklahoma is, thank you. We appreciate it. We had such a great time.
Oklahoma's
at
dope.
Cup.
I like it out there.
Really. We should have had somebody on from Oklahoma other than Brent and those guys to discuss why they didn't go wreck.
I'm glad they didn't.
What do you mean you're glad they didn't?
Because you can still have those events that are medical only, where you have to have technically have to have a medical card to get in.
No, they said you did not have to have a medical card.
Well, okay, so even better. So why do you need rec?
Because there becomes an issue where that takes the police completely out of the equation.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like you need police for safety there, but even then, you're in the Bible Belt, the middle of it.
No, I don't mind them for safety. I told you, I had that conversation I had was really, it was, I mean, other than the fact that he had really serious draconian
I was just
views
saying, like
on
in
impairment.
Oklahoma, it's such a crazy black market or legacy market or whatever you want to call it. That at an event like that, I would rather have security. Just
well, we
based
have your
on,
next book,
you know,
Driving
people-
Through Oklahoma for Dweebs.
People freaking out.
Yeah, can you do that one?
The butt pucker edition.
Yeah, totally. Featuring Dave.
Driving Through Kansas for Dweebs. That don't ever fucking do it is the only thing that the book says.
That's all the book needs to say.
Yeah.
Don't fucking
Don't even know you're doing it.
I'm glad I saw it. It was fun. It was weird. I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm in Kansas.
Did you finish the story? We didn't finish the story though. When you actually had to stop at the Walmarts because what did Kyle Downer tell you right before you were leaving?
Oh yeah, that was the word. Like, he hits me up on a text and says your brake lights are out. Your right brake light. I'm like,
Hey, it's better that you know than not. You know.
And so,
of course,
and
but
so,
fuck.
And so the thing is, I have the broken piece of the outside thing, and then the bulb was working before, but the outside thing, and I have it in the middle of my console, so that was always there. Like it's like the classic, like, yeah, somebody just ran into my thing, and I'm gonna. And then I went and got some fucking bulbs, and I got the bulbs and the thing. I'm like, all right, but my whole car was so loaded, there's no way to get to the back. And I was just like, oh, it'd be perfect to go through Kansas. And every time I saw a cop, I was just like, just gotta keep on moving. Don't touch those brakes. Don't give them any.
That's what I was gonna say. Do you think you could drive all the way through Kansas without ever touching your brakes?
I pretty much did that. I was like, I was
be at night.
Cruise.
I was just like,
I don't
nah.
see why you couldn't. It's straight flat through, you know.
Oh, but my cruise control fucking does that though.
Oh yeah.
If my cruise control it shows my brake lights on if I'm going downhill and it's going, I have it set at the speed limit and it's going a little fast.
Yeah.
I notice when because it slows me down.
I know.
It puts the brake light on. So fuck.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that.
I just press cruise cancel, cruise cancel, cruise.
I used to do that.
cancel.
I used to do that. I don't even like cruise control anymore. Though it's like that movie with the fucking Teslas.
Dude, but my
So
car goes a step beyond just
Yeah,
cruise.
yours is smart.
Mine stay, you have to keep your hands on the wheel, but it stays in the lane and it turns in the lane, but it recognizes when a car is a certain distance in front of me and it won't ever get closer. And I fucking love that. So because it really becomes
that's the
one
greatest feature.
Yeah, how
on
many
the new
people have been
cars, dude?
How many people have been pulled over for following too close behind another car?
Correct.
Oh, a lot of the time.
If you
I
have
got
this,
pulled over in Washington for it.
That's my favorite part. Drafting people.
But it was for the gas money, officer.
Saving gas with these gas prices.
Come on, dude. Mack Trucks, man.
Totally.
You get behind one of them.
Drafting for dweebs. Look, we're giving him books all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
You have a whole series now. There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah,
Right?
Drafting for dweebs would be good. I do that with trucks sometimes. If I'm just bored, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm getting behind this bitch. And getting
I
right
did that
into
in
the back.
Oklahoma on the way there because it was I drove 11 and a half hours.
Yep.
And this truck wanted in front of me. I said, no fucking problem. I just moved. It was pitch black. I moved over. We went from, I think the speed limit was 70. He was going 85. I just said it to the
Wow.
back of him.
Yeah.
I'm like, he must be in the know. He has to know. He must have something better than Waze.
Oh, yeah.
Saying police reported ahead.
Oh, yeah.
He's got
dude,
his
dude,
guys.
He's a trucker. He's got
Yeah.
TBs, man.
Right,
All
so
them truckers tell each other where they're at.
That's why I didn't care. I'm like, fuck,
That's
I'm 3
right.
car lengths behind, or however my car was the longest. I set the longest distance.
Yep.
And I went with it, and holy fuck, these guys drive crazy. Oh,
You get behind a
Thanks,
good
Mark.
trucker that ain't got the old the governor or whatever they call it on their truck, and they're doing 85. It's like, let's go.
He had
yeah.
no politics on board. There was nothing stopping him from going faster
Perfect.
or whoever it
Perfect
was.
traveling.
Yeah.
So, before you did the book, though, what was your your growing? Because obviously in the book you kept it real simple, but did you stray outside of sort of one style, or were you pretty persistently growing on soil, or what was your kind of preferred growing technique?
I mean, I've always when I went commercial and started actually, growing for a living, strictly soil. Before that, obviously played around with your deep water culture, hydroponics. I mean, I've used everything and tried everything and played with everything. But my favorite is soil, 100% soil. Take it back to the earth. We're already going indoors. I don't and won't grow outdoors. I don't. And there's people out there that live and die by their outdoors and how it tastes and this and that. But me personally, no. So, I try to keep it as close to indoors as I can, and soil all the way.
Are you growing in beds or are you growing in like?
No, pots.
Yeah.
I do pots, and new soil every single time, because usually we don't have the space to do living soil and whatnot. And I've found when you get on that commercial level, it's a lot easier to just replace your soil every time, teach your guys how to be robots, and less mistakes, better turnouts in the end. So
right.
Well, you got your fourth book, Living Soil for Dweebs.
Right.
Well, in general, yeah. I mean, it is. If you're going to do living soil indoors, you have to have a real, connection to those beds, because whoever's doing them needs to be responsible for the bed. You can't have even more than 2 or 3 people on a system, because the minute you do, it just goes out of whack, because people aren't. Right. They're not all thinking the same, and it's really easy to overdo it or underdo it because you're not paying attention to those things. Whereas if you're, if you're on your 5th cycle with the same soil, and you've already, you've kind of, you have to have a pretty good mind of what is, because you overload phosphorus or the potassium, because you're thinking that shit's so low, it takes so long to break down that it might be 2 cycles until that stuff actually is active and ready for the plant.
Correct.
And so you end up having this real weird, I've seen people just off the charts, you know what I mean? Really? You don't realize what's it, dude, you've just been packing that thing. And then so from a commercial point of view, yeah, it definitely makes sense. But from a taste point of view, and what people I think in the future probably are going to pay for, is that all that extra work of just getting it right. But once you get it right, it also is kind of less. It's weird. It's like a double edge, right? It's like less work in the long run, but definitely more work just waiting to get it right. You know what I mean? And then
you're putting in some work for a couple years.
Right. And then after
a couple turns, a few, like you said.
Yeah. Well, the second year is usually when everything sort of starts getting into humming,
right.
You're oh no, look, everything's great. Whatever I throw at it, it does it. Whereas the first year might be a little bit weird, and then after a certain point, you might be not paying attention and needing to redo everything. But the biggest problem is contamination of any kind of insects or pathogens or anything like that. Because if that does happen, and you have that killer room where you're just all happy with yourself, and there's so much soil in there that the minute you start pulling it out, you're like, oh my God, it's way more than I thought. It's so exponential, and all of a sudden you're so you don't want to get into that situation, because I've been there too, right? Where it's just so easier on. But when you were growing commercially, was that
allegedly?
Well, you're saying that was a legal market California, or that was just sort of?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I've legal market California. Also, I've grown out in Utah, legal market. I was the first. I got the first company up and, I don't want to say up and running. I don't want to use the right choice of words because they're very political. But I was their grower, and kind of helped get their name on the map, so to speak, when we opened in 2020. So everything I've done, obviously, since the last 10 years has all been with a license.
And that's why you said fuck it, because it's one of those markets which is definitely a hard one to be happy to go to work every day if you're not unless you're doing the whole thing, because it's the growing side has definitely been less rewarding for most people, just because it was a moment in time when people understood that that's the most important part, is how well your cannabis is grown and harvested and processed and dried and all that and handled. But it's definitely
it's 100%. I don't know where that theory has gone away from, because that's kind of the trouble that was going down in California, and the reasons that we left. It's like, you guys don't understand, without me or us or us cultivators, where are you 50 middlemen. Where's all the concentrates? Where's the edibles? You guys don't have none of that without us, and they're just grinding us to the bone, you know.
Right.
That's because somebody beat you to the punch, and they already wrote middlemen for dweebs.
Right, you're damn right.
Unicorn hunters.
Come on.
We have the tattoo scooping across our head too, you know.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I was guilty of that too, being a unicorn hunter.
The unicorn hunter days, yeah.
Right.
It was exciting.
So yeah, as far as you know, my growing, I kept it all. Once I figured it out, what worked and so on, I kept it all the same for the last, while now.
Was there a specific? Were you working on with? Even though it was on soil, was there certain brands of products, lines that you were running with, or?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. My buddy of mine was working with him, and we were using a concoction of, this guy, that guy, 2 of a 3-part system, 1 of a 3-part system, just 11 different parts of,
my secret sauce. The secret sauce is
11 herbs and spices.
It's cutting edge sugar.
Wait, you're really Colonel Sanders?
Mixed with some Botanicare, grow with some General Hydro,
and some Bloom from
a little bit of Canna.
A little bit of Canna in my life.
Canna olives, some peppers.
Well, the thing is, it's funny because a lot of those lines have like one stellar product, right? So,
for sure.
So if you actually, if you went and picked and choose from different companies, it just would be
P.F. Chang's.
Well, it is. I mean, it's like it is like remember that Psycho brand? That one that they at every single trade show they had like everyone walking with a big box of Psycho.
Oh yeah.
Right. That whole product.
I was gonna make a joke. I'm not.
Yeah, you're gonna try, but it's not gonna work. It's not gonna. It ain't gonna land.
It would.
Yeah, a box of Psycho. Oh shit.
Yeah.
I'll let you laugh to yourself about it. But in general, that whole product line had like one good product. The enzyme was fucking amazing.
Sure.
The enzyme was amazing. So I would always just be like, tell people on the way out, I was like, enzyme, take that. The rest of it, just fucking give it away because it's bullshit. The rest of it was all kind of garbage.
There's always that one product.
And so yeah, I think everybody had a certain product line. So if you're, technically, if that's what you have access to, especially like advanced, I mean, they had like 45 different products or something like that, and maybe like 2 of them were fucking good. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, that, but the ones that were, they work. And
correct. So yeah, we were using the 11 part system. Long story short, but I eventually dumbed it down to the 3-part salts like most commercial growers and run with it. I don't mention any, like in my book, I don't tell anybody about nutrients. Like I said, there's no scientific anything at all. When I tell them you need to, follow your nutrient line of choice, follow directions,
keep it
so on and so forth. Like, I don't want to name names.
Well, unless you're getting paid by them, then there's no point, right? Because it's like one of those things where, and at the end of the day, one of the hardest things about growing weed and trying to educate people about it is that as you're growing, you're learning yourself. You're like, things change. Mycorrhizal products didn't even exist in most growers' worlds, right? And when I lived in Holland, I used to get trays of clones from guys that were like old school Dutch growers, and they always had, they use powder for their hormones, so they'd be like that kind of everywhere. And then if they were, and I'd get these little granules, and I would never know what they were. And then later, the guys were like, it's a mycorrhizal.
Yeah, like the Mycos product.
And it was one of the first because those Dutch guys just took from real ag, products. And in America, nobody even knew what a mycorrhizal product was. I don't think, and that was like the late 80s, early 90s. You know what I mean? And then it slowly, but now it's like standard in everybody's program. And then, so I think with growing, if you're not learning, then you're not really into it, as much. But some people just want to get locked in on their one style, and that's the way it is. And we've had people who were like pretty well-known growers or well-known people in the industry, and then when you get them kind of down to it, it's like, oh, dude, I just use the same GH 3-part.
Yeah,
that
it's
I've
like
been
he was
using for
saying, like
25
you're
years.
probably using like a 511-26 green salt, calcium nitrate, Epsom salt, and then in bloom a monopotassium phosphate, and you're in
Right.
there.
Me too. So exactly what I do.
The basics that it needs. You know what I mean? Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, that's the commercial salts right there. You want to do it
Yep.
cheap. I mean, that's the way to do it.
Right.
And when I'm at home, when I was in California, I had a tent. Don't get me wrong. I'm not using salts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it totally makes sense if you're on like a repetitive system.
Or just large scale.
Exactly.
I mean,
where
huge
large
hydro
scale,
scale. Yeah,
allegedly.
the way to do it.
Yeah.
And it's easier to teach the dummies, the robots.
Dweebs.
Hey, dweebs,
the
man, use the
dweebs.
dweebs. Yeah, there you go, dweebs. Yes.
The dweebs, how do this.
Guy doesn't know the
Simple,
title of his
do
own
this.
book.
For sure.
Yeah.
So when you want to write the book, Breeding for Dweebs, Adam will write the forward for you. How about that?
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm in.
Breeding for dweebs. Speaking of which, if Ricky's listening, I sent him a link. So if he is listening, he wants to jump in, he can. If not, I know he's busy. He's a busy guy. He said he would try. He said he would try, but
Shout out to Ricky.
Either way, for
make
sure. Yes.
It was great spending time with him in Vegas.
Oh,
What a
nice.
great guy. Huge heart.
Rickey's
man.
a badass. That dude.
The legend.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
He knows some shit about a thing or two.
Oh no, it's just funny too because Vegas is one of those places where it's like it's always funny to see everybody there and like Ricky's always, especially when it's in a situation where in a group, like he's always the guy who's like got to like make sure everything's in order, right? So he's always like and he's always like it's good over there because and we had it all figured out, made it easy for him, and it was just like. Again, first day before he came in, he was just nervous, calling me up. You sure? I'm like, don't worry. I need time. So I'm like, dude, this is bunch of stoners at a stoner event. There will be no.
And where are you guys going to meet? At the bagel joint.
I can't give you times now. Don't worry, it'll all work. But it was like we had a short time, but it all worked out really well. So
We had a table for 10 at Bagel Mania,
Oh.
reserved for us.
Wow.
yeah, it was pretty special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How were the bagels, Dave? Were they good?
No, the bagels are not good there.
Oh, okay.
What? Don't say that. We're never gonna get back.
No, the food is good, but they know that. The bagels have gotten wicked commercial, and they go for size, not quality. But the matzo ball soup is amazing. The Reuben is amazing. Adam can eat there. Just really go to the car when
Just don't eat
Cece's
the
going to
bagels,
order.
I guess. Everything but the bagels.
Everything but the bagels. Yeah.
At the Bagel Mania.
Yeah, that's ironic.
That's like a band name.
Everything but the bagels.
It's like Dave's band name.
Yeah, you're right,
Dave's
Mark.
band
Everything
name.
but the bagel.
Wow, that's like everything but the girl, right?
Yeah.
Kids these days, right, Red? It's just
Right.
something, man. So dig the beard, man. I mean, and you kept the color in it too. You're
Yeah,
living a
killer.
stress-free life. Good for you, man. I sit down next to
I don't
him,
know
it
if it's
turns white.
stress-free or just because I'm ginger. Us gingers hold our color pigment the longest.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you say fuck you to
True
me?
fact.
I
Just
was
saying.
a ginger
I know.
until I sat down next to him.
Yeah, he was. Look at
Look,
him now.
go to 4 or 5 years ago
Yeah.
and look at the video. It's red.
What the-
I
Red
know.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, he turned again.
So don't ever come into the studio. You get near him.
I ain't stepping foot
He's
now.
kryptonite for gingers.
well, no,
And a funny story. I was 2000 from high school to 2018. I shaved my head bald. You know what I'm saying? And I've gotten up there in age, and I started looking at all my buddies, and they're not shaving their head, but they're bald.
right, reversed.
So I woke up one day and I shaved my head for the last time, and I told my wife, "That's it. I'm gonna grow my hair," and I've been growing my hair long ever since as well.
yeah, well, again, gingers have a gene that lets their hair just keep growing. It's weird. Like I've seen I have a Ryan Eads. He I didn't see him for a couple years. All of a sudden, he's got a beard down to his fucking knees. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? He's like, yeah, man, I got inspired by you. It's like, dude, my thing just,
My
I got a
beard's
Greek.
gone.
Mine just gets wider and thicker and more Greek looking. Look more like a, like a Greek
Totally.
priest or something.
You're
but-
gonna make me pull up my COVID beard.
Oh, here he goes, COVID beard. But in general, yeah, with my all the redhead people that I know with beards, they just can grow them and they just keep on going like wizard beards. Yeah, and it's funny because your logo is like my old logo, which mine was a baseball cap and a beard, and basically that's all it was. And every person that I saw looked, I'd give them the sticker, and if they looked like me at the time, they'd be like, they're like their girl would be like tapping him like.
That's funny. Yeah, his logo does remind me.
They'd be like, "Holy shit, that's
Dude,
you."
those stickers are out here in Utah. They're all over. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'll get people to this day giving me a photo. Dude, I seen your sticker. And I was like, bro, that's not me. That's Adam.
There you go. That's funny. Yeah, we definitely spread. I had them.
There's like the hoodlum one up there.
2009 till 20 something. You know, so there's like 10 years of stickers out there.
They're still. I see them all the time still, brother.
It's funny.
There, I sent it to Mark. Basically over the plague in 2020.
Oh, nobody's looking.
It was just that. Yeah, pay attention to the show here, Mark.
Oh, Mark, you got work to do.
Put that up there. That you can see it's just creeping in.
Over here,
oh, look at you guys.
Yeah. What are we doing?
Put the photo I just sent up there. You can see I had red hair.
He was
and it does grow out.
He's trying to prove
on occasion.
Prove his redness.
Nothing like yours. That's just that's legendary. That's like better than ZZ Top.
Wow, dude.
Right. Whoa, what's going on with this? What happened here?
Dude, that was COVID, man. You didn't see me for 2 years.
It's your dad.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Unabomber shit.
He's pretty sure.
Pretty sure. It says 2020.
Wow.
I can tell you right here.
Right.
Let's see.
Dude, there is
it looks like he touched that fucking
April
Tesla.
10th, 2020.
It looks like he's like got a Tesla coil in his nuts or something. Did you see that? I was like,
right?
Yeah.
The Tesla coil out of the
That thing
nuts.
from Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, speaking of Napoleon Dynamite, this is my little Spectrum thing went fucking off the charts. Remember the movie Men in Black?
Yeah.
Do you remember the scene
Wow,
with the
look at this, we're
driver?
having a fuzz off.
Mark.
Are we having a fuzz off? What's going on here?
So for all of you out there,
I don't think I have that.
the original opening scene of Men in Black of the guy driving the van of illegals going across the border, they only show him for, I'm telling you, maybe a second and a half. It's Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
Really?
Just take a look at it again.
What? No way.
It sure is. Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. Guarantee it 100%.
This is your
Yeah, my
nugget.
kids call it the freaky dad power. Yeah. Uh-oh, who's calling you?
Nobody. I'm just trying to charge up.
Just
All right.
relax, bro.
Yeah, dude.
You trying to check to
Just
see if that was
relax.
him? So how do we buy your book?
I thought we're having a fuzz off. I'm looking for some fuzz.
Oh, you'll out. You know what, though? It's funny.
I might have one.
I was joking with Pete Papadopoulos about this, and he's like, dude, is something wrong with Adam? He's like, nobody grows a beard faster than him. I blink, and it's literally back. You know, I'm like, well, because you spent 3 days with him in an Airbnb, you saw what it was like from morning to night. He's like, yeah. He's like, I couldn't fucking believe it. It looked like 9 days of growth. It was 8 hours.
You have to shave like every other day, I think.
Him, he shaves twice a day.
If I have to, I will. Yeah. No, it's funny because I walked in the other day, and only thing that grew in was like the little Hitler mustache, like really thick. I was like, what is going on here? Like, I had like a 5 o'clock shadow with that. How's that
The
happen?
worst.
I've never seen that.
Because you shave that part first.
Oh, I don't know.
Shave it last because you have this, just, I don't know, Greek hormone or something that's going through you. But you probably need to add a third time a day. So let's get back to it. How do we buy your book? How do people listening go, hey, you know what? I'm feeling a connection to the dweeb life.
I'm such a dweeb.
Dweeb, yeah.
Actually, no, I think the key is that people are going to buy them to give for Christmas
of course.
to their dweeb friends who need them.
Or parents.
If you are going to a white elephant party,
Dweeb
there is
needs-
no better gift then, because you know what? It has the cover of being a white elephant, but if they actually take a minute and read it, they might learn something.
Totally.
I think that's the key to everything.
And I'm sorry, I did invite Danny Danko to come on the show to be the negative Dutch guy, but so he didn't make it tonight.
I did put up your Instagram post to your book launch. up in the chat earlier, and I'll do that again right now. But if there's a better way for people to get to your book,
are you on Amazon?
Let us know.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm on. So I'm not a tech savvy dude at all, and I don't know how to do all that nonsense.
It's okay. Neither is Mark.
Yeah, neither am I.
Neither is our tech guy. Our
I
tech
run the
guy
show
is
every
absolute
week.
Not. Yeah, exactly.
I'm constantly asking my friends or my kids, like, "Hey, can you, anyways."
So is Mark.
Perfect. We'd get along great.
Yeah, see.
But it is on Amazon. I do have a link. I've put it in one of my posts and whatnot. But if you go to the search and just search "growing weed for dweebs," it comes right up. I'm sure if you search my name, it'd probably come up. But it's on Amazon, and then the digital is on Kindle, which is through Amazon as well. That's the only way to get it. I'm going to get a bunch of copies myself and then have them on my website, and so people can buy them that way. But through Amazon, basically.
What's the price of the book?
You found it.
I found it on Amazon.
What's the price of the book and what's the shipping, Mark?
It is $17.99. There is a free Prime delivery. I'll get to you by Tuesday, December 19th if you want to get it right now.
Oh, yeah, for Christmas.
You did amazing following
Good
Ed
timing.
Rosenthal's lead,
perfect.
not at all. Ed Rosenthal's book is $49 for the book and $127 for shipping. So you did great on the way you priced that out, getting it on Amazon so that it's free shipping. So thank you so much for your time. We're going to sell some shit. You have seen the show. Do you want to do the first Build a Soil ad for us?
Me?
I can't help you with it.
No, it's
No,
okay.
we're joking.
Thank you so much for your time. You're welcome back anytime. If anybody ever says, like if they call in or write to us and they say, I am a dweeb, I would like the dweeb master, that redheaded guy, we'll call you right up and get you on to answer the question.
Sounds good. I appreciate it.
Thank you so
It was
much.
a good time, you guys.
Yeah, great to meet you, man.
You as well.
And Ricky,
seeing
if
you.
you're
Yeah,
out
sure.
there, you should have zoomed in.
He can come to the.
Yeah.
He can hang out.
Patreon. You're welcome to come back at Patreon, too, if you have any really nasty stories about another dweeb life or something like that.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Nice.
coming on the show.
Thank you.
Right on.
Take care, man.
Kyle,
See ya.
do you use Build a Soil?
Yeah, of course. I love
Sweet.
Miles too.
Oh. Build a soil.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on.
I did try to get Danko on because I saw that little post somebody made about him, and I used it. And then I made a meme, and then he was going to come on, but he, ghosted us again. So go to 855-877-SOIL.
Ghosted you is what happened.
What do you mean? No, I sent the link to the show.
He ghosted you.
Oh, look at this
I'll
new
take
site.
credit.
He would
That's
never
fine.
ghost
Build a
us.
soil.
I'll take credit.
Looking good.
855-877-SOIL.
Yeah, they
I
freshened
gotta
the site
log
up a little
in.
bit, yeah.
Maybe the Dunn deal got fixed. Who
Nah,
knows?
No.
Don't break it, dude.
Mark.
Don't do it.
What
You're gonna
the
break
fuck?
It. Call it in.
I know.
Yeah, call it in. Don't even you go to the website to
completely successful test of this equipment.
go to the website to check them out. You go to buildasoil.com or you give them a call, 855-877-SOIL. We'd appreciate it, and so would your receipt because it'll be 5 or 10% less if you mention you heard about it on the show.
Shout out to So High Cafe and Viper Pit Barbecue.
Oh, the brisket sandwich was so good.
Was that what
tonight.
it was? I saw some guy
Peeling out
walk in
brisket.
here with one.
Thanks, bro.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
so
actually,
good.
Viper Pit
Viper Pit.
Better than the
sponsored
Oklahoma
the
barbecue.
First half of the trip to Oklahoma, man.
It was
fucking
better
awesome,
than that, dude.
It was.
Oh yeah, we didn't fast food it, did
That was
we?
good.
We did not eat fast food
Did
on
you
the
not
way
eat
down
it?
there at all.
Good job, guys.
We just ate brisket and some mac
Mac and cheese.
and you can come get that right now at So High Cafe, 4300 West Alameda.
Thanks, bye.
Yeah, man.
And
That's how
then
we do.
Tops is here. He's going to take home like 7 dinners for his wife and his spawn.
I hope there's something left for me by the time we get to
Yeah,
Patreon.
you got the hands, bro.
So Ozo just released a new Guatemalan roast. So you go to ozocoffee.com. You enter Dunn Deal 23. You get 20% off. I'm very happy to say it is the biggest discount this coffee company offers. You can't get there's no way to get this coffee for the price that you can get it at without entering Dunn Deal. Okay, maybe once a year they might do something a little more. But just get the subscription. I brought it with me. I was like grinding stuff. I was going to even bring my burr grinder down to Oklahoma.
We had a bag of Ozo.
You had.
Oh yeah, that's great.
You carry your grinder with you on the airplane everywhere you go. Too.
No. His blender.
Yeah, my
blender.
Yeah,
blender / grinder, whatever.
Blinder.
Whatever it does,
it's
it makes
my
a mean cup
blinder.
of coffee.
Yeah.
How interesting was that? Within what? I mean, it had to be like 48, 2 days, right? He got blendered and I got blendered. They said the same thing about the same thing. Anyway,
here's a follow-up to that coffee drama, the coffee mystery.
Oh,
I get home.
The portafilter.
I get home, and the
Patreon.
first thing I want to do is figure out about that, if that thing even like existed in my brain or not, or what happened. I never brought it with me. I never,
Time
brought,
warp.
I never
Oh my
brought the actual
He
thing with
time
me.
How are we making coffee then?
Don't even know.
Time warp, dude.
Hella
The
time
weirdest
warp.
thing.
Time warp.
What?
I got home and
Because you had made 3 or 4.
Dave,
right exactly where
Dave
I
made him time warp.
would have left it. So I did take the
wait,
wrong
I
one.
can do that, Vin?
You put Adam in a time warp.
Oh no, because I had to make coffee. The last coffee I made was for you, and then
So that's like the 88 miles an hour.
So
you
it
have to
just
make a
switched
cup
right
for
at-
me.
it went
Switched.
Ah,
Oh, I did grab the wrong one.
That's wild, man.
Isn't that weird?
I had a
That
cup.
is
You had a
crazy.
cup. You had a cup.
That's
What
so
the
weird.
heck?
What
Yeah.
the heck?
I got
What
that.
the heck?
Anyways, wow.
Exactly.
Okay.
It was a what the heck. Anyway,
I have the power.
Ozo coffee has. Ozo had the power.
What the heck?
To get to bust through
was
a
my He-Man.
non-portafilter.
Yeah.
Is
Now
that
we
what
all
it
know
was
what a
again?
portafilter.
A portafilter.
Now we all know what it is.
Yeah.
We should have known.
Yeah.
Wow, man. That's wild.
Yeah.
Whatever.
If you would listen to the show, you know.
Cream of
A
coconut.
most amazing.
The
I'm thinking to myself, I made it
The
all
day
the way
stopped for the portafilter.
through, knocking wood.
Almost.
Of all the yo tips we handed out,
Didn't let it stop.
of all the people in Vegas and in Oklahoma, how do you even calculate how many people avoided getting sick? You know, it's got to be a huge number, okay? Because I come home.
One guy on a nitrous tank didn't get sick. So there you go.
Yeah, two guys.
Pretty good.
Yeah, two guys.
Two. That's
Oh, did you just say 2 dudes in a tank?
two dudes, one tank.
2 dudes in a tank.
Two dudes.
Two dudes, one tank. And a recipe for disaster.
And a DIY.
Actually, it was 3 dudes and I raw dog, dude.
No.
Yeah, straight hose.
No.
Straight hose.
Just,
Raw dogs.
you didn't use a yo tip?
Oh, we did. Don't
We
worry.
do the yo
I
tip.
did that for
We
jokes.
use tips.
I did that for jokes.
It's jokes.
Go to
Not
yotip.com.
unless you got yo tip, right?
Jesse
Right.
got lit.
We had such a great time. I think everybody loved the 6 5. Sorry, we talked about it being 6
60
foot, and then I
inches.
got it stuck.
It was in the originally.
6 foot.
Okay,
It was a
originally, okay.
But it wouldn't fit in the kiln.
It was. We did what we could do.
Was it 5 foot?
Nobody noticed. It's perfect.
Good. I was right the whole time. I
It's
said it was
perfect.
5 foot to everybody.
5 foot bong,
I was on video.
nitrous
saying it was 5
assisted,
foot.
and seeing both father and son
Father and son.
take a dab,
connected-
the Sternbergs,
connected in the world
and
of
we
dab.
have it on video.
Wow.
Is fantastic. Yeah, Dave got the waz at the end. You can see the flop of hair going. You know.
Is that what we're doing for Patreon? We can show that shit for Patreon.
Okay, but you just if you are shopping at a dispensary, please help us introduce this product to them. I got great feedback from 14er that it's selling. They know they have to introduce the product. It is not just a smoking tip. They didn't invent smoking tips. It is a way to make your joint hit better while providing a barrier of safety and protection against conference cough, wook flu, and the like. So go to yotip.com or follow them at Yo Products LLC on Instagram. And come stick around. It'll be worth $1.05 to see the videos.
Oh yeah, way worth it.
So Green Farms Med, you can get Yo Tips there. You'll be able
Yeah.
to get. I got them the contract so that they can sell DabX products there. They'll probably be the first retailer in Colorado if JW moves on it, because I got them in touch today. So you have to be a medical patient. I don't know. Do you need to be a medical patient if you wanted to buy a non-cannabis product?
You gotta get in the door.
Okay. Step foot into the building.
All right, so just get your medical card. Mine
That doesn't make
expired.
sense.
Greenfarmsmed.com. Every product. I mean, he's like the P.F. Chang's of the industry. He just went to all the best proprietors, the merchandise people here that make the best can of products, and he has them on the shelf in Colorado Springs.
Yeah, shout out J-Dub.
Done deal's 10% off.
Greenbros.com.
Greenbros.com.
Colin's a great guy, so 5% off any big ticket item or 10% off the harvest bucket. It changes week to week depending on Mark's energy level. Today he was so down,
Oh, it's probably
it would have been
10
10.
marks.
Yes,
10.
easily
Yeah,
10,
easily.
10 marks.
Oh, yeah, look at him. Look at that face he just made.
We were discussing production things over here, man. That's what
We were.
So the Holy Roller machine is so amazing and can be fine-tuned on so many levels. You really are using it in an air-conditioned room just
that
to
the Holy
keep all
Roller?
the metal. Yeah.
Did you see it?
Different parts.
Oh yes, I saw this thing going, and it
Wow.
was you. Just
Cool.
watch your. You don't want to get. You don't want to be eating a burger around it and have to reach in for a fry or
You
anything.
shouldn't probably be eating a
No,
burger
you
around it in
shouldn't
the
be.
first place.
But this is.
It got way tighter,
like
though. Look,
soup.
it used to look like way more loose and had more
They have the
Let me tell
ability.
you that
more
much.
beta.
It must be because the industry wants it, but they make these little. What is that? You're distracting me.
Keep going, bro. You're doing good.
No,
Holy Roller,
turn
bro.
it off. It makes the. Then go on to the next one.
Come on, it's coming.
Yeah.
The noise, that's the noise of the machine. That's what the machine makes.
It's the Holy Roller, dude.
That's what it does. Here it goes. It's making them now. Spitting.
Holy roller. Like a holy roller.
There you
There
go.
we
Now
go.
you hear it. Now
Somebody
you hear
could have clued me in. I wouldn't have needed to
You should
talk.
have just kept going, dude.
it. Yeah, your timing was perfect. You would have nailed it.
You would have nailed it.
It would have been like a plane that had turbulence but still landed like great.
Yeah, you would have been
Excellent.
Now you pulled it JetBlue.
like, yeah, you fucked up.
Very JetBlue. Get a harvest
I want to
bucket.
stab him in the face with a fork sometimes. So get the harvest bucket.
JetBlued
You get
that
10% off your order. Enter Dunn Deal or mention Dunn Deal when you're speaking with your rep there. You're certainly not going to buy a big ticket item on there or over the web.
No.
So just say you heard about it on the Adam Dunn Show. If you're a grower and you're harvesting, you need to check out what they have on their website.
Got through that.
Oh, finally.
Oh.
There it
Oh,
is.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna find something more painful than a fork, man. This fucking,
Bagel in the eye?
no, this fucking Pro Tool right here. If I'm gonna put it on red and
Your-
double click it.
Concentrate Focus Dispensary if you are in Colorado and Oklahoma, and also the guys who spooked Dave out driving home from Oklahoma.
Yeah, watch the
There
show.
you
If you want
go.
to see Dave get spooked, watch that one.
Watch that
Watch
show.
that
You
show,
watch
yeah.
the color just
Yeah,
leave
yeah,
my
yeah,
face
yeah.
like a fucking thermometer. Yeah.
They're going to do what?
Yeah. Well, because I always, every time I drive through Woodward and fucking Guyman, there's always the two blacked out Oklahoma cops doing the double facing.
Oh.
And it's just fuck. I wasn't,
Know what you're
wasn't a
doing.
problem. ApothecaryExtracts.com. You can, Dunn Deal still gets you a discount there. Mark is a big fan of this company. They've been advertising with us for 5 years. We love their concentrates. We
They
loved
just-
having them on the show.
Huge fan.
They just brought back Max Out Mondays, so for $120 you can get
What
8 grams.
did they do today?
It's just ridiculous.
Wow.
Of
Wow.
the
It's a good
ambrosia,
deal.
Like
What
their
was-
Fire.
single source ambrosia.
Their live resin,
Adder,
yeah.
live resin.
But you can also go to like certain dispensaries that they process for and get 8 grams for $50. I mean, it's amazing, and they'll tell you right on it if it's
CRC or not.
remediated.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ApothecaryExtracts.com.
ApothecaryFarms.com.
Sorry.
DabX.com.
What do we have to say about these guys? They provided fucking,
The best.
the Frankenstoner of the industry over
the cleaning
there.
kits are very, very clutch. Though.
Oh, yeah.
Where are- yeah,
They're clutch. They
We'll have more.
do the job
Don't
because you
worry.
screw it in, give it a shake. You're like, damn.
I
this shit
I
works.
need that,
Yeah.
dude. I need
Yeah.
that
good.
kit.
We'll have
Yeah.
some more, but the Pro Tool should not be overlooked. I was looking at Mr. X's Puff Swag one, it's far inferior to this.
Oh, for sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
far
For sure.
inferior.
I like that one because it's curved.
Oh yeah, no.
It's not Peroni's curved. It's curved in a good way.
Hold on.
Scoopy curvy.
Damn it.
yeah, if you
I
don't-
couldn't get there quick enough, Kyle.
If you're not quite the DabX Go convert yet, and you have your favorite bong, we have the Rocket that can fit.
The Rocket.
So
And if anyone tested these out, it was us.
So,
we tested it.
Vinny, you will be happy to know, I have a little insider information that in next year, first quarter, you will see the Rocket number 2. Right? This is MK1, completely re-engineered.
Wow.
Mine's gone.
For people that
like
like
3 of
the
them.
banger
Poof.
style of
What do you
taking
mean
a dab, they'll have one.
Oh, it doesn't work.
No,
Wait,
they're in a
what?
box somewhere.
A
So-
banger
Oh,
style of
I got-
taking
I
a
got
dab.
a
You know,
Oh,
in
really?
a banger
Yeah, yeah,
instead of
of
the
course.
cup.
Oh.
So they have, and he says
We
it's
toasted
completely re-engineered.
Oh, I like this, and I like that.
The red one?
Fine detail.
We'll get any problems. They have great customer service, so
I'll
you can
call it
contact
connoisseur.
them.
Well, you're going to be able to get them right
Oh,
here
look.
at So High Cafe.
You'll be able to get them here. Just what an amazing
14,
company.
10, and 18.
Yeah.
Give it
DabX.com.
Scrabble rabble.
Oh yeah, dude, that claim.
There it is.
Oh, there's the cleaning kit.
So
Yeah.
there's the cleaning kit. You also want to take a look at the 2-gram fillable dab cart, so you don't have to worry. Any pen-ready oil you can put in there. They'll help you work with viscosity if you have problems with that. They have a little. Adam figured this out right away. They have a little pouch that you can buy for the dab tool, but there's no real way to get it in and out
They
without
don't
either.
have it. It was only a prototype. They didn't even
Right,
have it.
but they'll have one fixed. It was catching the cap either way, you know. But
I
that's
wanna-
what we do. We put things through their paces.
I want to get another air path so I can have one cleaned,
Yep.
ready to go.
Oh yeah, dude.
We needed that for sure.
We do. Yeah, I needed
Yeah,
it.
everybody needs that.
I need it.
No, I need it.
We
I need
need
it
that.
more than you need it.
It's the greatest
Yeah.
moment of my life.
Let us remember that a year ago when we reconnected with Christian at MJ BizCon, all they had was the Go and the Rocket. They had nothing else. They were all version 1s. So you're going to start to see version 2s of all their products by the end of next year.
Oh, wait till you see next year. We'll have.
Wait till you see next
Wait till you
year.
see this.
Wait till you see.
Yeah, you'll be
Oh,
you'll be
ooh.
boofing the nitrous assisted fucking.
Oh, yeah.
bong
No,
from
no,
Vinny.
you will be.
Both ends.
Well, wait till you
Nobody
see.
goes near my booth.
No, you have a yo-tip. Don't worry.
Oh,
This
thank you.
sounds sloppy.
It does.
I tried
But
some
the
of
squirrel. Did you get the squirrel?
I tried some of the Chem de la Chem Garden Select. Absolutely fucking fireweed. Their rosin is amazing. You can walk out of the store with a gram for under $25. You go to 14erboulder.com. You have to place a pre-order to get the 10% discount. So you just go place a pre-order, enter done deal. You cannot buy that rosin butt plug. It's just not available. I think it exceeds the max limits. Why they put that there, I have no idea. I think
I like
it's
the
just
new
for the
site
jokes.
though.
So 14erboulder.com, amazing, amazing company. The DJC is amazing flower. I know I get shit because my face is on the can, but just trust me. Amazing, amazing flower. Can't go wrong with 14er
Makes a
Boulder.
great ashtray.
Yeah, because they're all cans.
Oh, taking tops.
Tops, cannabis.
Tops, you want to do your own ad?
Yeah.
Oh, he's not even paying attention
You
to the
wanna-
show. He's been
He doesn't
speaking with
even
Mr.
care.
X
Do
the
your
whole
own ad?
fucking night about why.
Come on, man. Do something.
You want to do anything?
Come on, man.
Come
do
on,
something.
man. Come on.
Do your own
man.
ad.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah, let's
Chicken chops.
He's just going to hold a sticker up.
We're putting him on the spot.
Yeah, that's it.
He's there.
What's going on?
Yeah.
What's up, dude?
Yeah, go to the website.
Taking
go
tops
to the
cannabis.com.
links page.
Why are you
and then
taking
come
tops
hang
right now?
out
You should
with
be
us.
taking tops right
Check
now.
out all these links. There's a Discord. There's there's a Telegram. There's all kinds of stuff. Check it out. Social Club. There's also join Duncan Dabbers on Facebook.
Yes.
That's a really cool.
Yes.
And like,
Dabbers.
dude, he's like giving out rigs and stuff.
Yeah, I just gave away a dab rig to
Dude.
somebody for Christmas
And
today,
not like-
so that was pretty cool.
Oh,
Not like
Christmassy.
dinky rig. It's like good rig.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
What are you guys doing?
Mark
Why
wanted
aren't
it.
you there?
I can hear it in his voice. What he's saying is, Mark wanted that rig,
like, you coulda-
fucker.
you
Why
coulda
did you give it
saved all
away
that shipping.
to a stranger?
A lot of people wanted it.
Yeah,
but there
so
could only
I
be
would-
one
I wanted
winner.
it.
That's
can only
Mark
be
right
one.
there, man.
I would dab from the free throw line for that.
Yeah, he could move your ad back 3 or 4 places, and no one will be listening by then, and you wouldn't get any of the traction you get right now in this placement. That's Mark right there.
Put you right there.
Did I grease you up with that bucket?
Unbeknownst to you.
We're good. TakeItTopsCannabis.com. Go check it out.
Get a
the
t-shirt.
links page. Get the Discord. Check it out. Speaking of nice-ass rigs, JeromeBaker.com.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Just, I don't care what anybody says about him. He is well, come on. He's a player and an industry amazing, and everybody has these crazy stories. This man has a heart of gold.
Jealous.
I watched what he did to make other people's lives a little bit better for the moment, and to do things for them to make them a little bit better in the long term. So the man has a heart of gold. So if you're going to buy a glass piece, before you do, go see if it's available at Jerome Baker Glass. If it's not, go try to win one off of Taking Tops Facebook page.
Yeah,
you know,
respect to Jerome Baker.
This is the original. If you didn't have one of
he's
these,
the OG.
yeah.
He deserves your sale. I mean, if you don't have one in your collection, you need to reach out and buy one.
Sweet.
Oh, shit. Look at that. Nick working.
HortitechDirect.com.
I say this every week because it's like what else need be said? North Dakota garden, 30,000 feet, minus 70 degrees, 50-mile-an-hour winds outside, 72 degrees inside. No problem with the light depth, no problem with the mechanics. And the only thing that guy did not get were the 6 free brushes.
Oh, he could've.
Because he bought it before the Dunn deal.
I was about to say, are they still doing the free brushes for every greenhouse?
I might be able to get you 7. I'm saying, Tops. If you needed it, I could get you 7.
Holy
I'm just
shit.
saying.
It's an
okay?
It's an OTT thing.
Yeah, you got to know. Okay, so you go to HortitechDirect.com. The guys are amazing. You're going to look at their website, but then you're going to call them up, and one of their reps is going to talk you through it. It isn't, I want this greenhouse. It's, where are you? They know, once you tell them that general area, they're going to know everything about the climate. They're going to know exactly how to build it. Just go to HortitechDirect.com and tell them you heard about it on the Adam Dunn Show.
Terpwipes.com.
Terpwipes.
No discount code necessary. Terpwipes.com/Dunn deal. It says coupon code calculated.
Sad when you don't have them, you get real sad.
Every 4 months.
The worst,
It's the
dude.
sour diesel of turp wipes, of wipes.
If it ever expires,
Yeah, it's the best. Yeah,
I
it's
get
the best.
my Instagram, like the day that the coupon code expires, I'll have 5 in my Instagram DMs going, doesn't fucking work, and they take the snapshot. Coupon code was not successful, and then I just let him know, and he goes, pingity bangity, done.
I mean, I literally cleaned all the barbecue off my hands earlier with one.
It's a
Terp wipe.
multi-faceted, multi-use wipe.
Dude, I
Barbecue
use it for
terps,
my
yeah.
Well,
vinyl.
I was gonna say the barbecue was loaded.
Those
with
barbecue
terps.
terps.
I don't want to
yeah.
know what Mark uses it for. That's painful.
Stubborn old school vinyl.
Viral?
Like used vinyl that I get from like a Goodwill or something like that. That's all super goopy and like.
Oh, yeah.
Like I swear, I went through this guy's records. I swear he was eating syrup every time.
He had pancakes on his vinyl.
Yeah, so like those terp wipes will get all that stuff off, and then you can like clean it really good.
Get the
Terpwipes.com/Dunn.
Zerp wipes. They should be called Zerp wipes.
Oh yeah, we already
Zerp.
did this. Cheech and Chong.
Just,
water.
really, we can give him a second shout out because it is the holiday season.
Oh, yeah,
if you order now, by Monday, you can still get it for Christmas if that's the holiday you celebrate.
If there's a way to tell them that you got it on the.
I'm pretty sure in the promo field you can enter Dunn Deal. I was exchanging texts back with Danny. So the only way to do it is the only way you're going to hear about it. We can't print Dunn Deal anywhere or anything like that. He doesn't want it to get out. But you just have to know you can get it. If you have to call them for it, whatever you need to do, there'll be a 10% discount for you, which is $30 if it's a $300 bottle.
The Judge's Water.
It's awesome.
Very cool on your mantle.
Bio365.com.
So Tim was supposed to be sharing the booth with us, and apparently his whole booth went missing in action. So classic.
What shipping company did he use? Because can we throw them under the bus?
I don't know. I have no idea. But it was like the classic where
We delivered it, sir.
You should have hired the
It's
Market
been,
Mini
it's been delivered. It's
delivery
like, what do
service.
you, no, I don't see it. You know, one of those deals. So yeah, it was too bad because I know Tim would have enjoyed the
Oh,
collaborating
dude.
booths. It would have been.
Oh, we had plenty of space for him too, so thank you.
Oh yeah.
No, we
plenty of
would
space.
have.
Oh, that's what we gave it to. Got it.
There you go. See how things worked out. But yes, in
First soil in space.
Well, let's also shout out to Jinx.
Jinx Proof, of
Yeah,
course.
Jinx Proof, yeah.
You got him on.
They
there.
were great. I mean, they were great. They came right in. They set right up. I mean, they were so professional. Yeah, great guys. You got to check them out.
I worked with them at CannaCon a couple years ago. Yeah, they are good guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So bio365.com. All you need to do is send an email to Tim at bio365.com and answer the question right away. Yes or no, you have a loading dock.
Is it true that he'll fly in on a helicopter and drop off soil?
Yep.
He's done that
Right into your
with
pots. Right.
yeah,
If
because
you
it's
lay it
got
all out
there's a little
properly,
Grateful
he'll
Dead
land.
money there.
We'll do a soil drop.
Yeah. So yes, if you do live in Berlin, he'll drop it off for you there. Or where? I mean, there are places in Florida, right? You can't drive to, so he has to. I don't know. Bio365.
He's riding the horse while he's beating it.
That was weird.
Love these guys. Numbnutsco.com. Done deal at checkout. 20% off any of their CBD peanut butter for humans and dogs. They have non-infused peanut butter. They have almond. Humans. They have almond-infused CBD
made
peanut
with
butter.
humans? Is that what you're saying?
If
It's
you're a
like
medical patient in
Soylent
Colorado,
Green of
you
peanut
can
butter.
get their 1,000 milligram tub. Find our nuts. Click that button. And then, if you're ever in Breckenridge, you can go to Breckenridge Organic Therapy. While you're waiting in line, you go to their pre-order. You enter Done Deal. You get 10% off.
Vinny and I's uniform. I think I wear.
There you go.
I think I wear that sweatshirt from them every single day. Because I just use it as my over-the-top thing.
SunscapeLED.com.
Oh, here was another fucking shipping MJ debacle. They got their whole booth stolen.
Oh my god, yeah.
So they
Sunscape
left. Yep.
did?
So they had everything set up. So they had a whole bunch of actual collateral, like lights that they were showing off, different versions of everything. I think they even had a few LED screens. They left to go to dinner because I guess, you know, there's a lot of commotion going on when you're supposed to unload everything. And a lot of people do that. They'll just leave for a little bit and come back.
And they were hungry. That's why they left.
When they came back, everything was gone. Everything was gone. So it was either stolen or someone mistook their booth for a booth that should have been packed up, and some other lighting company wound up with a whole Sunscape booth.
You can't
But it's
load-
probably
you
the
can't-
former.
You can't load up a
Yeah.
whole booth without knowing it's your booth.
Yeah. So all the more reason to give them some business right now because it cost them a little more to do MJ
Man,
Jizz
that's
Gun.
crazy. But can't they
Oh
get-
my God.
I mean, wouldn't the building since it's all unionized and it's all fucking under
Or
goddamn
maybe
Insurance, like
yeah, it'd have to be.
This was Mids told us this.
God.
Oh, sorry, he doesn't like it. Mateo told us that.
Who took too many dabs and fumbled the fucking ball on that?
Wait,
I don't know.
you said what? And then what happened? Oh no.
No, I mean that was what he said happened. So sunscapeled.com, they come from the Chinese mining industry, the highest quality you can ever have. The failure rate is less than 1 in 1,000.
Get
Tell me-
100% getting stolen rate though.
Yeah, at MJ BizCon. Yeah, if you bring that LED to MJ BizCon, it'll probably get stolen.
When someone stole it?
Well, that's a good sign. It means that they were out of all the.
Where
lights
were you
there.
the last 3 minutes?
I wasn't. I don't. Not here.
Yeah.
That means that they had a choice. to
What the hell
steal
just happened? Did I
anybody's-
time warp
No,
you?
I was just kidding.
Okay.
They had a chance to steal any LED, and they stole theirs. That means
That
That's
means
good
it's
though. That's a
quality
good
it's a
thing.
winner.
Yeah.
It's a winner,
Yeah.
guaranteed.
Ours got
LED.
stolen out of the whole place.
Yeah. I like
Everyone
that.
else's were still there.
Yeah, so that means I win. I win.
SunscapeLED.com.
Totally.
SeedsHereNow.com.
They had the presence at
Cowboy
Well, they were in the
Cowboy Cowboy.
non-smoking section.
I know.
And then on
Yeah.
top of that, James showed up
Wasn't
when
he
I
sick?
wasn't. I don't know. Somehow I didn't.
No,
I-
he didn't show up. He wasn't feeling well.
No, but he did show
No,
up.
he showed up. He was
and
at our booth.
Cece saw him, and
I saw
he
him, shook his
and
hand,
then I didn't
said
see
hey.
him, and then I hit him up, and he was like, I'm on the plane home." I'm like, "No." Yep. He was like, "I'm out."
Well, December is upon us, and we're celebrating the holiday season with tons of incredible deals. Every order secures a
He doesn't even sound like he's reading
a free
AI.
Gush Mints. Spam 1 pack, please. Plus, enjoy 25% off on all bog seeds and mint flavor strains all month long.
Shout out to Bob.
Don't miss our Christmas Eve Spectacular 1224, Boxing Day Bonanza 1226, and New Year's Eve Countdown 1231.
You almost got through that.
Did we ever
I was
give?
about to, Mark, I appreciate you.
I did pretty good.
Did we ever give props to Big Island Genetics for hanging
For
out
coming
with
on the
us?
show?
Yeah.
I mean, I think so. During the show, we tried. Didn't we? He wouldn't let us.
I don't know. He
I'm
was,
an island boy.
did you
Oh,
did
no,
you
we-
did you
we
watch
did.
him throwing his rap down after the show?
To who?
Oh yeah, he was. There were a couple of targets he had,
Really?
and he
No, I did not.
he worked it hard for a good
Really?
hour afterwards.
Did not.
Oh yeah,
Missed it all.
good for you, Big Island. Big ups. Call us up one day. Call us on Patreon. Tell us how that
Oh,
went.
don't worry, he will.
SaintsHereNow.com. AdamDunnShow.com.
Look, you can get
/show
this.
merch.
Yes.
With
With all the crumbs. It comes with crumbs.
That's
It comes with
weed
all the
crumbs.
crumbs.
Weed
Oh,
crumbs.
yeah.
Yes.
It's definitely not everything bagel seasoning.
Not bagels.
Not
100% not
bagels,
bagels.
no.
But yes, you can get old school designs. You can get all sorts of little like a knick-knack patty wax.
Give a dog a
obviously.
bone.
Whoa.
Do you have any daddy or doggy lamb stuff here? I almost said
not
daddy
on-
lamb.
Yes,
Daddy
only
lamb. That's another line.
for extra small dogs.
We only have the small sizes now because for some reason people wanted all the big sizes and I was like, wait a minute, aren't the little dogs the ones that really need it? Cause
Oh, for sure.
They already have it.
No,
Or like they were
No, they
buying the
don't.
big dog jackets for little people.
It could. Well,
Yeah,
Nick,
maybe.
Nick was
You're
actually
so
rocking.
twisted.
Nick was rocking around. He was rocking one for a little while. He looked
We
kinda
even
cool.
got Team Warped gear.
I know.
Check
Look
this
at that.
out,
We
dude.
got warp
You get
gear.
the
we got
green
it all.
screen shirt, so it just
We should all
has
have
the logo
those, and
floating.
then we
The
just-
green screen shirt.
We can
All you see is the logo.
Yes. Perfect.
It's made out of the finest green screen.
So
the best.
with this one, we want to tell you right now, quantities are running low. Orders have
Yeah,
been
this
pouring
stuff-
in.
Yeah.
And
There's
if you
Mark.
order now,
Look at
you
Mark
can-
on the left. That's so Mark.
Dude, that's hella Mark.
Isn't that Mark?
That's funny.
It's
On the
totally Mark.
left,
It's
yeah.
not Mark. It's the guy we say Mark is on Instagram who does those.
All of them. There's so many of
Memes.
them. Did you see that one I sent you the other day? That one looked totally like you too, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the longest
like,
I've
that's-
ever had an IG page.
Yeah.
Good
Oh,
on you,
you're
dude.
fucked now.
Oh yeah,
Now
you
it's
jinxed it,
over.
dude.
It's
Yeah.
over
Not
now,
jinx proof.
bro.
Yeah, quick. Luckily, we had Jinx Proof on the show.
I know,
So
I was gonna
therefore,
say.
you might be safe.
Wait, was he on tonight? Was I not
No,
paying
no,
attention
no,
that
no, but
bad?
just
We
talked
shared a
about it.
You
booth
have to
with him.
expand the view, Mark.
What did I do?
Oh,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just
Tops
three
is
people.
one of
Yeah.
the-
Hold
Poor
on, dude.
Tops.
My bad.
No, he doesn't want to be seen though. Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like
He
just
yeah, he doesn't.
you're not being very
Oh,
inclusive.
there you go.
here,
Thanks.
Mark.
Oh,
There you are.
jeez.
There you go.
God, my bad, dog. My bad.
All right, everybody. So, we do have Patreon coming up, of course.
Oh yeah.
And
And we're gonna give you a link so you can come talk to Adam
yeah, come talk to
and
me.
only Adam.
Oh, speaking
Yeah.
of which, before I get off this one, if you want to go watch me jibber jabber for like, and it's funny, I watched it and I was like, damn, I was like trying to talk like 100 miles an hour, just trying to fucking pack it all in because I knew there's no way. Every time I start a story, it's like, oh god, this is another 20 minutes.
you were trying to Billy Mays your way like through it.
I just tried to barrel through it, but if you go to Chad Westport's Future Cannabis Project show, the Chad Westport show, which is the latest episode, is with me. And yeah, I kind of go back in time and history and give you my little. Okay, it's funny because people were like, I read of course I read their comments but I'm reading the comments and it's like, yeah, I like Adam way better on this than on his own show. I'm like, that's nice to know.
Oh.
It's a compliment.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's cool. That means they want to hear me talk at 90 miles an hour all about.
I think a lot of it is people who haven't gotten like your stuff over the years and need a recap on all of this like little stories and stuff.
Yeah.
Was it a
You know what I mean?
shorter show? Because sometimes they're
It's an
saying
hour.
they can't handle
No,
the
it's an
3.5 hours.
No, it was supposed to be a 20-minute show about one strain or two or something like that, and I just
Never.
I didn't even let him think
Yeah.
about that. I was like, oh no, we're going.
Yeah, we're going
I said, it's my
long.
30th anniversary. You want to do that? Let's do that.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so then we tried to go back, and then I just went,
Nope.
oh no, I got to go back to tell that part, and then I might as well go back all the way.
They obviously don't watch the show then. No, nothing.
It's
there's
just
no-
going to be a quick 20 minutes
Oh.
in and out.
The
Yeah.
funny part though is that
Sure.
I
And
know
burger?
exactly when, like, you know how when
No,
whoever's heard your
dessert.
stories too many times, like so when CC hears me say like, "Oh, I got to go back to tell that part," and then I just went,
Yeah.
I said, "It's my So anyway, I got on the boat. You know, I was on a boat. If she hears the word boat, and it's like
She's leaving the room.
She's like,
She's
I'm
out.
See ya.
Out.
She's like, I'm out. I've heard this story before. This is a good hour long. But yeah, go to Chad Westport's latest. Pump up his numbers, man.
There you go.
Make me the most popular.
And
hell yeah.
Wait, what's his name again? I'm sorry.
Chad Westport.
Chad Westport. He's in the fucking chat right now.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Okay.
Oh, you like that?
Did you lose the cap?
Yeah, of course I lost the cap. I told
Here,
you.
hand him
that.
yours.
Bro. Jesus.
Nope. Don't even eyeball mine.
Yeah, hit it up. That's the flashlight.
I need to order me one of these.
Yeah.
There's only 10 in the world, right?
Yep.
Only 10 in the world right now.
2 on the table. We have 20% of the whole world's
Supply.
of these. And I've
get
lost
a
the cap
link to
already
it
because that's
right
what you do.
now.
So wait, then we only have
As a stoner.
not 20%, 15%.
Yeah, there's.
The cap
Because you
is
lost
5.
5%. Yeah.
That's nice.
No, it's like it's 2.
What a
and
great
12%.
I just want to say this tool is fucking amazing.
But
Yeah,
they're
it's
good.
awesome.
The only thing is because it's so big and because I take such big dabs, there's always like a slab left on there. Like I can't really just
So
clean it
there,
off each time. Otherwise, it's a lot.
No, there's a way to like. Do you hold the button or do you do the double tap?
I don't know. I hold the button.
Okay, try doing the double tap.
Yeah, and it just heats up.
It just does it to where it's by the time it's done, it's off.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, you should have saved it for Patreon. Then
He
it
was
would have been.
posted 2 days ago.
But then you can't order it. You can pre-order
do
it.
it.
Save it.
The two pump chump tech.
Whoa.
2 pump chump.
Do you know Jane
Dave's
West
specialty.
has already been on the show? She goes 3 knuckles deep.
Whoa.
Whoa, dude.
And you're gonna
Oh,
2 pump
Dave.
chunk.
You 2 pump
Right.
Dave.
3 knuckle. Whoa.
It was posted like 2 days ago.
What was?
The Chad Westport thing.
Yep.
Okay, I was just making sure it wasn't Adam Dunn, the baseball player. That's all.
We'll see you guys on Patreon in a few minutes.
Peace out, guys.
Peace out, guys.
Practically every one of the top 40 records being played on every radio station in the United States is a communication to the children to take a trip, to cop out, to groove. The psychedelic jackets on the record albums have their own.
This is a special question. We don't want you to smoke genetically modified ganja. We want you to smoke the real thing.
Me?
Want you to smoke the natural herb.
Sweet.
Some call it marijuana.
Sweet.
Some call it sensimilla.
Sweet.
Some call it lamb's bread.
The tea.
And some people call it